I'm teaching Shadow my techniques of not looking like he's a producer of adult materials. You see, it looks creepy when you do it like this. All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Welcome back to another Thursday night paint and craft chill stream. Got Justin in here, being his usual self. I'm gonna leave it there.
Ah, there we
How you
go.
folks doing? How you doing tonight, Justin? Seem like you're in a good
Okay.
mood.
I'm all right.
Yeah. There's a lot of shows going on right now. I noticed GM
Yeah.
Cody and From the Hilt, and that's fine because I literally haven't touched a paintbrush all week. I sent the
2
link
weeks for
out
me.
there. What?
2 weeks for me since the last show.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, instead of trying to knock out some of the minis that I've been working on all month, I decided to go and strip like 13 miniatures that were already painted using the LA's Awesome and my Sonic cleaner, and decided to primer them black and start all over again. Because I was telling somebody, I forget who it was, that in the last year alone, I've seen a definitive increase in my skill level, and some of those minis, like this Traveler ship, just looked awful. It's a typical 200-ton free trader Beowulf style, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do these up. I even have a couple of lead minis here. I've got some Reaper, Grenadier models, some Heritage Galacta miniatures, and I'm gonna do the Zenithal white dry brush over the black primer, and while they dry, then I'll go move over to some of the other stuff. Because one of the things I've learned when it comes to miniature painting, if you're not like dying to paint a miniature, don't, because you will not paint it to the best of your ability. When you find a mini and you absolutely can't wait to paint it, that is the right time to paint it. When it's work, put it to the side. Unless you're a commissioned painter, don't waste your time. It'll turn out crappy.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be the miniature. You have to be in the mood to paint.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
so
if you're not in the mood to paint, do something else.
A miniature will call to you, and that helps. But if you're in the mood to paint, anything will help.
Yeah.
I find that
I've also got another almost 24 miniatures I got from Archon Studios. They're animals that are obviously intelligent. They're wearing armor and things like that. They're not like humanoid at all. Like, for example, this dog, he's actually got a sword in his mouth.
Okay.
They're really, cute, but at the same time, like, where is it? There's this eagle that's like, not that, is that the one? Yeah. It's like a mecha eagle, and it's not cute at all. So of course I'm gonna have to paint it up in red, white, and blue metallics and some gold. But it also came with this really cool vending machine mimic.
Yeah.
And a safe mimic. It's literally a little vault. And of course a treasure chest mimic. And I'll be painting those next month if I get all this stuff off my table and I have some time. Archon Studios started shipping the new Dungeons and Lasers on the 15th, I think. And the new cave system looks freaking spectacular, along with a lot of other stuff they're doing. They've got a Heroes of Might and Magic game that looked kind of interesting. It's a board game. But they also jumped on the Masters of the Universe, which I never, ever got into, even though I had the Grenadier lead miniature sets for Masters of the Universe. It was always just a little bit too, I don't know, pick your favorite adjective. Uh, and it probably had something to do with, where I was as a
I don't
youngster.
know, man. With your filmography, I figured you'd be right up to the wardrobe.
Oh, no.
You know you're
No, it
getting
was more of a Flash Gordon Beastmaster if you're going to make those kind of, inferences. It just, the cartoon was, and cartoons at the time, I didn't watch Turtles and a few other things. I was out, you know, being a teenager, I guess, an older teenager, or in college. I forget exactly where. I just, I know a lot of people really, have fond memories of that stuff. So if you are a fan of, Masters of the Universe or Wolfenstein or Heroes of Might and Magic, I definitely recommend checking out Archon Studios. The new
Yeah,
game
they have the contract for the board game.
for
Uh,
Heroes of Might and Magic.
isn't Archon is the place in Poland, right? They have
Yeah,
that does the plastic injection molding.
yeah.
Yeah, they have several of those board games.
They
Uh,
no longer have Wolfenstein, but that's how those contracts go.
yeah,
Uh,
they're probably
I
still making the models.
I don't know. I didn't ask. I played it as a youngster, but would I back it and jump into it now? Nah, I'd probably just play the video game.
Yeah, if you wanted the miniatures for a character or something, I don't know. I
I can
think
see that.
that is the one good thing about the Chinese companies is they sell the individual miniatures as well as
Mhm.
part of their contract. So if you go to their outlet store, you don't have to buy the $300 board game to get the
Yeah,
$5 miniature, right?
which would be kind of I get it. A lot of people can't drop that kind of money, and
Well, I could never justify it. Like even if I had that kind of money just to throw around, I'm not spending fucking $400. Like there are a couple of miniatures from the game that Omnow has. The
Kingdom Death Monster.
yeah. Kingdom Death. That it's better to just buy the individual miniatures straight from the
Mhm.
factory because $16 or $17 is a lot less than 400,
Yep,
especially
yep.
when I'm never going to play that game.
Mhm. Yeah, that I backed the Mutant Chronicles Siege of the Citadel game back in the day, and we only played it a couple of times, and I painted up a bunch of the miniatures, and I still have more to do. But that's a game that I know I will go back to. I'll play, maybe not right this moment, but I know I will go back and play it. Some of the other ones, like for example, the one sitting above me, the Zombicide. I read it, and I didn't buy it for the game. I bought it for the miniatures, and to get a crap ton of Western miniatures, that were kind of science fictiony and pulpy
Yeah.
was it wasn't as expensive as some of the other Kickstarters I backed, and yeah, I just didn't like the rules. It was too abstract for movement and things like that, and I'm like, no worries. I got the minis. I will paint them one of these days. Can't say when, but I do know I will.
Especially when you know that like Artel, right? They estimate a full size like sprue that's like 10 inches by 10 inches
Uh-huh.
costs them a buck American to produce.
Yeah.
So you're spending like $30 is still a ridiculous markup on that.
Well, that's why I backed the Kickstarters because I usually pay about 50 cents a miniature. Now, mind you,
Yeah.
they may be on a sprue of several, but
Yeah.
you know, that's the best deal you're going to get. You're literally,
Yeah. Like
well, unless you find some sucker on eBay who doesn't, know how to price their items or puts it up in an auction and nobody bids on it, and you sneak in and grab it, which I've done hundreds of times.
ditto. Well, not hundreds, but a fuck ton
I've been doing
times.
eBay for over 20 years,
Yeah.
and I probably made close to 100 grand in the course of buying and selling there. Not including the profit I consider I've made in merchandise that I'm never selling, which
Yeah.
is quite a bit.
Well, that's good to hear. You're a genuine paperclip flipper, if you know that story.
No, actually.
A guy sold a paperclip and bought a pen, and then the pen to like a box of erasers or something like that, and then all the way up to a house.
Yep. I've actually done that with several businesses in the past.
Yeah, he just like kept flipping it for something slightly more expensive. And
Yeah, if you've got patience, that is the key with that sort of endeavor. You've got to be patient, and you've got to be diligent and not get tempted into doing something impulsive with those funds or that sort of account. You just got to stick to your guns, and it works. I to be honest, the first time I did that was in elementary school. I bought a pack of gum before school with my lunch money. By the end of the day, by selling them for like a nickel or 10 cents a piece of gum, I doubled my money, and then went and bought 2 packs of gum. And by the end of that school year, I actually had made a decent amount of money. I don't know what I did with it, but I know I did that. Oh, that's right. I blew it all on fireworks when school was.
Impulsive buying. Don't do it.
Oh, I love fireworks, dude.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do with them besides just light them off, for that holiday. We would have bottle rocket wars and.
So you're who blew his hand off and ruined it for everyone else. Yeah.
No,
I was just joking.
we would take smoke bombs and tie them to the back of our bikes and then light them and then just douse the entire neighborhood. And little did I know that if I would have just waited a couple of years when we started having forest fires every year, the government would just do it for us. So what are you painting tonight, man?
I'm still working on those things. I've only been working on it on the show.
Oh, okay.
Check the lobby, see if anyone's shown up.
Nope.
So odd.
Raven's always late. Brian is probably doing Brian's stuff, which hopefully he's gaming or something adult instead of just having to do some of the things that he told us he might have to do.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to have to start. Crap.
What?
I overdid it with the dry brush and just ruined a face.
Yeah, I think I just did that here with this guy's shirt.
But that's what a mistake brush is for.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what a mistake brush is, you always have a clean brush ready to dip in the water. You dip it in the water, and then you just apply that water to the mistake you made and just wash it away as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't even have to do the water if the paint is still like puddled up.
Yeah, no, I definitely had to use the water.
Yeah.
I learned that trick from Rob Oren from Rob's Tabletop World.
Yeah.
I haven't gone
Keep
over and
a
rinsed the
lot
dish.
of mistake brushes around. Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, you usually want like a large ferrule. That way, there's a lot of capillary action to draw the paint away from the model, like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Uh,
Except that
but
most of my brushes, the ferrule is completely gooped up.
no, it's just the diameter. It doesn't matter. Like it has to have like a lot of
And
bristle
I don't know
space.
why that always happens. I'm like super careful. That's one of the bad things I noticed about the speed paints is they just get sucked up right to
Yeah,
that ferrule.
yeah,
Versus
because it's the way the paint works. There's no way you can prevent it.
yeah,
That's why
and
you want to use the with the speed paints. You want to use the cheap brushes from the dollar store.
yep.
That's
Well, and not even the dollar store. Well, those are crap.
yeah,
Those are
no. These are from the dollar store.
really
Yeah,
we don't get anything that good.
yeah.
I was getting
These
these
come in
really
a
good
pack
brushes.
of uh, oh, where is it? Where is it? One over there. These were all in the same pack. Yeah.
I was getting these brushes from Hobby Lobby from a company called Masters Touch, which is their main like when you buy like brushes individually
Mm-hmm.
with the little plastic tube to protect the tip.
Oh,
Well,
those
they
ones.
still
Yeah.
sell those, but they no longer sell the 5 or 6 pack. It had them. It was $4.99 for 5 or 6 really nice brushes, and then every 2 weeks, like clockwork, they had a 40% off sale, and I grabbed,
Yeah.
1 or 2 packages of those, and then they stopped carrying
Now,
those
this is
packages.
another thing. You can go to AliExpress and get straight from the manufacturer in bulk, right? Like 25 of them for $4 or whatever.
Well, I managed to like just stock up. I've got about 12 packs of those brushes.
Yeah.
I sent some of them to Raven, and it was just a good deal. And I could probably find better deals, etc. It was just so convenient. I'd go to my Walmart, and right next to it was a Dollar Tree and a Hobby Lobby. So if I went there on
Yeah.
Saturdays, I could get everything I wanted, one stop, and pretty much like almost the only thing I ever buy there is Vallejo paints, brushes. Every once in a while, I'll buy a mech from Gundam.
Yeah.
I need to get some orange ink though.
Yeah, I need to get those inks. Uh,
Because while Army Painter did finally put out an orange wash, which will literally be the first one because the GW's washes are not washes in the traditional sense. They're really more like inks. They have too much upper staining that I don't like.
yeah.
They call them washes, but they're not. They're just ink. And I've been
Yeah.
wanting an orange and yellow wash forever. And Army Painter just put out their new Fanatics set. And there is, I don't know if there's a yellow ink, but I know there's an orange ink. But,
There is, but it's got that like sunburst yellow. It's not like I haven't used it, but I've seen it advertised.
and sure enough, they've got a set of washes, their usual 10 pack of washes. Unfortunately, there are 18 washes in the set in the new Fanatic line. So the washes that I actually want, I'm gonna have to wait until they finally start selling them individually because there's
Yeah.
no way in hell I'm paying almost $800 for the complete line of Fanatics, unless one of my you know
Yeah, it's
sponsors.
800 bucks American.
It's like 750.
Mm.
It's it's hundreds of bottles of paint.
Yeah, I got like sitting right next to me the original set, right,
Uh-huh.
of Army Painter, the whole one, and it cost me like $500. But it's the old stuff, right?
Hey, what's up?
Uh, hmm?
I do not remember seeing you here. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
But yeah, it's like 750 for the complete set,
mhm.
and there's just I know I'm gonna like it and I'm gonna want it, but that's I figured Derek. It's funny that you said that. I was like, I bet you that's Derek. Um,
Mm.
that's like for me, that's like a mortgage payment. I mean, literally, it's
Mhm. Mhm.
very very close.
Well,
So
it's definitely why I'm not switching until I'm
out
done
of
with
paint.
these, right? Yeah, especially since like I've opened to maybe because I bought this and I was painting and for like another 2 months and I stopped painting for forever. So I've opened maybe 20 of these bottles
Okay,
out of the 100 and
90, I think it was.
uh
Or am I thinking the new set?
2017. This is before the speed paints came out, like
Yeah,
the original ones.
yeah.
So
I didn't get that, and to be honest, I've had a love hate relationship with Army Painter for a long time. I love some of the stuff, and other stuff can't stand it.
yeah, I know what you mean. Um, but I needed to bite the bullet and get a complete set of paints because I was always like giving up on projects because I didn't have a color or whatever.
Yeah,
So I needed to just do that, and it was this or
Viejo.
GWs because fuck Vallejo, I cannot make sense. I am not buying 900 shades of green.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's
like
also Reaper. Reaper has
yeah, and Reaper was like those weird boxes, and they like the reviews I was watching that they were radically inconsistent from each other. Like they would
really
have
bounce.
the clamshell toolboxes with like 25 paints in them.
Yeah,
And you'd have to get each of them, and then like one box would be perfect, and then the next box would be like eh of quality. It's like
really.
uh what's these paints? You said you didn't like them. The
Craft
Stynal
paints?
Res, the Stynal Res primers.
I've never used them.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't like the Stynal Res primers.
No,
Um,
never
Stynal
even heard of them.
Res, they're a really good primer. This is what I was using the other day to do the black. They're for airbrush, but you can just brush them on as well. They're super thin, so you don't have to put a lot, and they stay wet on your palette if you don't move it around too much, and then it dries really quick on the model, and it's flat. It's like super flat. Um, but you have to be careful when buying it because if it gets frozen in shipping,
Yeah,
the paint's just destroyed.
really.
Yeah, it does not react well with cold whatsoever.
Hmm.
So it's like a crapshoot when you buy it, right?
Hmm.
Oh, does it say on the
I've
stupid
never.
paper? Yeah, but it's one of the better, especially for the price and the size of bottle.
I know a lot of people really like the Pro Acryl or something like that.
Proquil, yeah, Proquil. Yeah, it's same, basically the same stuff, right? I think they don't have that problem with freezing, but they cost almost twice as much if I remember. Uh,
Is that company that's like in Italy where the guy makes like 8 bottles a year, handmade kind of thing?
what Stano Rose? I have no idea.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this company. They're like, the paintbrushes, the paints God uses, but
Yeah.
the guy only makes like 20 bottles a year.
Well, you'd have to make more than that just on production method, but I understand what you mean. Very short runs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no thanks.
I don't know if our friend in the chat knows what company you're
Derek.
referring to, Derek. Um, this stupid paper doesn't say how many fucking paints are in the box. And I'm not sitting there counting them all.
Yeah, I kept my box for the speed paints just so just so I could figure out how to put them in order.
Well, it has this thing, but it doesn't. It doesn't have the fucking number of paints on written down on the label.
Oh, okay.
But I still have the actual box. 124 plus 5 free brushes.
Oh wow, that was back in the day. Then now you're lucky if you get 3.
Ow. Oh. Man, I wish I'd hit this finger harder.
Because
the blacker the nail, the less painful it is.
gotcha.
I don't know. It's one of those weird things, It's been like this for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks.
Wow, that does not look good.
Yeah. We can tell. So it's not a birth defect. Oh. Mm. Da, 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 da. I do have most of the Andrea set too. Do you know Andrea paints?
Nope.
No, they're pretty good. They come in. Well, they used to come. I don't know if they still make them. Like they'll be like the red, right? And it'll be like a super dark red
Mm-hmm.
down to a super light red, and there'll be 6 of them.
Oh, that's
Kind
kind of what
of like what they're doing with the extended triad thing
with
now.
Fanatic. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like that back in like the 2007 or whatever.
2007, I was using exclusively craft paints.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about Army Painter, to be honest.
Well, I don't think Army Painter was doing more than the dips back then.
Back then.
Yeah. But my Andreas are not here. They have a really good skin set that goes from like a chocolate brown to like almost an albino, right? And it's just and then it has like a booklet inside that tells you how to do each race with those colors.
Gotcha.
But they're for Andrea doesn't do wargaming pieces. They do busts and like military miniatures.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Did you ever do anything like that? The 75 mil or bigger?
I've done some busts. Matter of fact, the thing I was working on when I stopped painting was a bust, which is sitting right underneath the monitor over there, unfinished. I dropped it, so I have to reglue it to its plinth and fix the gun. The musket. The musket.
Okay. That's what it was? Was just the musket?
No.
The bus has a.
The bus has a musket. I just happen to have a musket
So it's like
here.
somebody like this or something.
No, he's just out like this, but the musket came off. It's just sitting right there. I just had to glue it on and touch up where it broke.
Yeah, that's one of those things you really have to be pretty good to pull that off.
I can do it.
I don't think I could. I'm still having trouble with the Vaporella. I put it aside because I need to
Thinner paints, man. Always.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that. It was I always have trouble with like clothing lines, especially on women, like bikinis and things like that. Where the skin meets the flesh, it always comes out crappy. I'll make one mistake. Or like when I was doing like with these wings on this giant frog.
Mm-hmm.
The veins in between, I had to go at it a completely different technique to get them to not look like I had screwed up and had to repaint them, which when I first did it, I literally had to do it like 4 times. And every time it was just making it worse. So every time I do a dragon, that's the hardest part is those straight lines. And it's not like my hands shake, or anything like some of our friends out there. It's just just one little mistake and it throws the whole thing off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. I'm going to check on our friends and see what the holdup is on Discord. I'm not enjoying hanging out with you, but
it's a little of a dull. These kinds of things are like the orgies you prefer to film over. Over the solemn intimate affairs that we have going on right now. No? You're like, fuck you. I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, it's just like I said. I know there's 2 other streams going on tonight.
Yeah, GM Cody is doing his game with Hungar and Bear and whatnot.
Is Max Liao in that one as well?
I have no idea.
Oh, there's GM Cody right now. Speak of the devil.
Hey,
that's weird as hell. What's happening, man? Thought you were dungeon mastering tonight.
I guess they ended. They started at 8, so they must go for like 2 hours or so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I usually watch it after the fact. I don't want to, I know if I watch it, I'm going to be tempted to say stuff, in the chat, and I
was telling them to kill Hungar's character, and then Hungar's character.
I won't do that. I've been in a lot of live plays, and that's why I don't do them anymore. Is because I feel that it's a live stream. People, in my experience, come to those to interact, with the host and the guests and whatnot, and I feel it would just be
distracting.
Yeah, I mean, when I was with Rick or Table Breakers, it was just distracting. You couldn't, you can't get into the game and keep track of the people, in the chat. I prefer to just, record it and then play it and let people watch it. That way, Nobody's getting ignored and nobody's getting distracted because I know I would get distracted. I'm right now. I'm doing a bunch of stuff right now. In my hands is an old uh, Traveler brand. I forget which company, but the 200-ton free trader, and I'm just doing a bunch of Zenithal over black primer for a bunch of minis I just recently stripped. Yeah, it just if I I could, not that I would, but I could picture some folks expecting interaction with whoever's in the show. It's like, hey, we're here watching, and you can't do that. But at the same time, that's what a lot of people go to a live stream for.
Yeah. I'm upset that you didn't kill Hungar's character with an avalanche.
Hey,
Though.
speaking of which, GM Cody, I have an original GW metal miniature Harlequin. I have almost every one of the metal Harlequins that they made back in the day, and I'm missing a couple. And I'm not going to paint any of them until I have the whole complete set of them. I pulled out a printout from one of the GW magazines, and I have it in the box. So it's like a checklist, and I haven't touched them in years, but they're all completely never been painted, all from eBay, of course. So who knows, they may have been painted and stripped and I didn't notice. But Eldar were my second favorite army, almost my first favorite army for Epic Space Marines, but in 40K they were my favorite. And those minis were just out of this world, just crazy. Just I still have the original Harlequin book. It wasn't a Harlequin book, but it was what the heck was it called? It was a source book, the first book I think that came out after Rogue Trader. And I just thought, wow, these guys are just crazy. And a buddy of mine, he was like, "Oh, let me paint him." Like, not happening, dude. Not happening.
Mm-mm.
Can you guys hear my adopted kid? He's not really adopted, but can you hear him? He's going off on some video game in the next room.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, so you can't hear him. Yeah,
A little bit. Don't worry about it.
He's a good kid, but he gets into his video game. He's playing online with somebody. Yeah, the compendium. I miss the old GW. I don't know about you guys, but
I always thought there was something hinky with the company.
Really?
Yeah.
I back in the day they were like a breath of fresh air. Just they seemed so.
But then again, I know them from only the early 2000s on.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean way back. What was it, the 90s, or was it a little bit earlier with Rogue Trader and what was that other game? That Apocalypse game. You remember that one?
No.
It was like a Car Wars game, but it actually had model cars. It was like Gaslands before Gaslands, not quite Car Wars, because you could. It had like, it was like a 28 millimeter scale version, and there were like not just cars but motorcycles, and then all the wasteland weirdos. It was 87. Hey Cody, if you're not busy, I'll send you the link. You can come on in. Bag on the new GW.
It's Dark
Future. That's what it was. Yes. Yeah, I actually had some of that. and I also had that other game, Starfleet something or Space Fleet before Battlefleet Gothic. My friend and I, we played the hell out of that game. The one where you had to roll the dice in the box lid and had like a tic-tac-toe board, and depending on where your dice landed, would also determine, it was like hit or miss in a tic-tac-toe fashion, and then what you rolled also had an effect on the outcome.
I wish that when they did Battlefleet Gothic, which I liked, I played to that. I still have the core rulebook. I've lost most of the tokens, sadly.
I sold my copy of that, and I regret it every day.
The ships were more modular, right? Like, so instead of here's the Mars pattern or whatever,
Uh-huh.
right? Here's the cost of a fighter bay. Here's the cost of a like a battery thing, whatever the 4-gun thing was or whatever, and allow you to make your own layouts.
Well, with 3D printing, that's probably
the rules weren't there for it, because they were like just 300 points for this ship, build it this way, not 100 points for the fighter bay, 75 points for the cannon bay or whatever. That way you could design your own ships, and they should have carried that, or even just the philosophy they had for the Chaos and Imperium, carried it on with all the factions, because the Eldar ships you had to buy the specific one, and there was no variant like option. There were pewter weights that ended up fucking right. Like you had these really beautiful plastic models for the starter box, and if you bought those ships individually, but everything else was pewter, so they ended up becoming paperweights. And
yeah, I've got 2 of those. I don't know if they're the largest, but they're pretty chunky.
Yeah, and it was pretty obvious to me back then that because they were making them out of pewter, that the line was not going to be continued, because those molds are easier to produce in-house, right? Like they're just vulcanized rubber. Or you can buy a kit at the fucking store to make those molds. And then just cast them in house, which they did. They do all their casting in house. So that's not a big thing, but the fact that they weren't putting the production lines into making those other ships in volume, kind of, on the nose.
Yo, what's happening,
Cody?
Just painting, chilling, talking GW, I guess tonight.
Yeah, man, I fucking love old Games Workshop. I just love it, like old Games Workshop.
The zany stuff. Like I only look back on, but never lived through, because I didn't start their stuff until 2000.
The original Space
99.
Dark Future was fun. There was another one, I think, that was like along the lines of Dark Future.
I don't know. I don't have enough.
Like in the 80s, you had you had Space Marine, which is basically epic. You had Rogue Trader. You had Warhammer Fantasy. You had Dark Future, and that was basically it until the 90s, and then you started having all the specialist games.
Blood Bowl and
Blood Bowl came out in the 80s too. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Hey, what's happening, Married with Gaming? Also, Advanced Hero Quest was another one. I still have that one.
Yeah.
Hero Quest and Advanced Hero Quest.
Advanced Hero Quest was a solid game. We played that for years without getting bored.
Yeah.
It was solid.
I thought Warhammer Quest was better than
Mhm.
Advanced Hero Quest, but
Now-
Advanced Hero Quest was cool.
That
For
was
sure.
the one they made in-house and not with Hasbro?
So they made
Or was it
Hero
Mattel?
Quest, which was Milton Bradley,
Milton Bradley.
which was the board game, like mass market board game. Then they did Advanced Hero Quest, which was not Milton Bradley. That was in-house.
Yep.
That was in
I
the
saw
late
it.
80s. And then in the 90s, they had Warhammer Quest, which was basically like an extension. It was basically like the third edition of Hero Quest, essentially.
From what I heard, it was a little different mechanically in the game rules and stuff like that. But I could never find a copy. Same with Space Hulk. I wish Space Hulk and Space Crusade, the two games I've never been able to pick up, and if I get the opportunity, I will not even think twice.
We used to
Yeah.
have it at the game store, Space Hulk. You could just come in and play it. Yeah.
That was a good game.
Space Hulk was really good. I played quite a bit of Space Hulk. I never got to play Space Crusade. Never played that one. Always wanted to. That was one I never got to play back in the day. I didn't start playing. I started playing GW games in the 90s, like mid 90s. And that was
I started playing with, literally the very first edition of Space Marines, which I still have.
Yeah.
And the second edition, which was superior. I mean, it's the same game, but
yeah,
you know, it was like all second editions. I noticed that with GW and AD&D, a lot of second editions in a lot of ways were the ultimate, the height of a game, and then third and on, it just goes down into corporate, you know, bureaucracy and what have you, just profit over playability.
Well, that was the thing with GW is like that was a company that was started by gamers for gamers, and that was most companies back in the 1980s, right?
Yeah,
but like I think they
most
went
companies.
Yeah, most companies.
Yeah.
But especially back then, like most game companies were just small little industries started by gamers that loved games, and Games Workshop was just one that like did everything right. You know, at the time, like it would, you know, because there were other war game companies, but they had rules, but they didn't just have rules; they had rules with flavor that were awesome. Like they had rules. They had a war game with a backstory that was better than anything on the market, and they had miniatures to back it up. And
don't forget Travis Johnson there, Omen, another one of the greats.
Yeah,
those two guys. I mean,
man, you had so many cool guys at Games Workshop. I mean, I could just list all night, right? You had like Andy Chambers, and you had
yeah.
Who was the guy
Chambers
that just
was a wild man?
Yeah. I loved Andy Chambers growing up because he was the guy with the like long hair.
Who
like
was the mutton chops? Who was the
Paul Sawyer? You had Paul Sawyer.
Who was the artist? I loved his work, even though it was like
John Blanche.
Yeah, thank you. I knew it was something like that. It was a combination of genius and garbage at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
It's the Blanjitsu or whatever they call it. The whole grim dark. Like he created that art style.
Yeah.
Right. Not the literary style, but the art style. Yeah.
Yeah, I love John Blanche. I don't think he created the style per se. I think he's been associated with it, but like there were other guys involved there, right? You had like all those other great artists. Who was the guy? Fuck, I can't remember his name. He also did the Tolkien Bestiary. He did a lot of art for that.
I have no idea. But
if you ever looked at that, like
you're telling me there's other people older, I'll take your word for it, man. Like it's something I can believe.
But anyways, yeah, there were a lot of
man. Hop in here.
At GW, but you know, John Blanche definitely like became like the de facto dude that kind of, you know, lived on. Well, I think he lived on because he's still with them, right? Like John Blanche still works for GW, or he did up until he just recently retired. So he was the longest running guy. So he constantly had like a say in what the style was in Games Workshop, you know?
Yeah. He really did capture the essence of decay that was like the heart of the universe for a very long time.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
get what they're doing with the like new golden age thing, but you know, combined with real world politics with the company, it's annoying.
They
Yeah,
don't get
and
it.
real world politics as well.
Yeah, well, corporate politics, right? Like this.
Well, no, I meant real world as a
Yeah,
real world. Some of the other stuff, just
yeah.
they don't know who their audience is, and they don't care.
Well,
So
like most companies, they just hate their audience when they do know them, right? It's like I don't know. I think they're one of the better companies to like. I'm personally of the opinion the sole reason why they don't put their artist's name on things anymore is because they don't want their audience hearing the stupid shit that those people are saying.
that could be. I always looked at it more as like kind of like that rollerball mentality where you can't have a star. You know what I mean? That no one
Mm.
can rise above anybody else. Everybody's got to be just
I think that's
nameless
what
number
like
on the battlefield.
a lot of people say that, but then like the only person I've seen come out of the company like in the art department that hasn't had a vein of like douche weaselness to them has been Duncan, the Tooth and Codes guy. The
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
rest of them, the
Duncan
rest of
Rhodes.
them, yeah, the rest of them, if you pay attention, like they got the one guy that was judging the judging the tournaments for them, and if you go to his YouTube channel, he doesn't go more than 10 minutes without saying Nazi.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm sorry, no, it's not. Why do you keep saying that? And it's like they got like the female artist that came out and it's like everything is neon pink and fucking powder blue, right? With a white stripe going down the middle. And it's like, I don't need to hear this. I'm here to hear about fucking things killing each other and not your politics, man. Like fuck. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know Cody, you hate this fucking shit, but
Hey, what?
the political talk and the
Oh no, I don't mind political talk. I mean, I'm pretty political. I just don't really talk about it when I'm talking about gaming. But you guys are more than welcome to. It doesn't bother me or anything.
Mhm.
You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, it's just it's annoying.
It is annoying, and I've gotten quite burned out on talking about it. And that's another reason.
I usually try to stay away from it, but you know, it happens.
But
Yeah, no.
I'm
Especially
honestly
if you know you're you know it's gonna come up. I mean,
Yeah.
it just
Yes.
is. You know, otherwise all you can do is say good things about a company or nothing at all, and they they really should pay attention. Like I was hanging out with the guys from Archon Studio this afternoon,
Mhm.
and they listen. I've been with them since day one. I didn't know them, they didn't know me, and my son and I, we built our channel because of their product. It was so phenomenal, and it's just miniatures. There's no agenda. I mean, maybe a little every once in a while you might be able to read into it if you're inclined to do so, but miniatures don't talk. That's why I can still buy Wizards of the Coast miniatures, because a good miniature is a good miniature. If it's cool, great. There's no politics, there's no agenda, there's none of this crap. It's just a good miniature. And if they put out a good miniature, which I haven't seen a good one in the last year, and by good I mean like a big monster. I don't buy, characters and orcs and things like that, little humanoids. I only buy the big monsters because I've got more than enough character minis to last me, the next 100 campaigns.
Yeah.
How many different, cool looking elves do you need, right? Or how many dwarves do you need with the big obvious, giant oversized warhammer, and beard down to his, belt buckle. I mean,
That's a short beard.
Now, after a dozen, you're probably good,
Mhm.
unless you're playing a skirmish game, which opinion on Axe. I haven't opened the box that I got from Max Liao. I'm waiting for my box from Venger. Max sent me this. I won the Axe prize, and I know for a fact that he told me that there's more than just the Axe books in here. He sent some other stuff because he's trying to clear out his thing, and I'm like, you should have told me. I'd just buy it from you. But I'm getting some custom stuff from Venger, and I wanted to open them all at the same time. And now I've had this box for like 3 weeks. But I will open it, and I'll let you know, Omen, what I think of Axe. I read the PDFs of the first book, and I think the companion or something like that. It's fine. I prefer first edition AD&D. You know this, but if you'd never played any fantasy role playing game, you'd be getting a solid game. I'm just an old fart, kind of stuck in my ways. I want fighters to have a D10, not a D8. Stuck on that kind of, minutia, I guess. But that's what happens. When you've lived as many lifetimes as I have.
Yeah, I personally like the mechanic in Morkborg, but I find it easier because it does both the attack and counterattack in the same role.
Kind of like how I was talking about with Top Secret, the percentile roll to hit also tells you the hit, location, and damage. Genius mechanics like that will never ever get old.
Yeah, I also like the way they do like your stat number. Like when you roll it up, instead of like just writing that number down, you compare the number, like your D6 rolls, your 3D6 or whatever, to a chart, and it gives you between a -3 and a +3 with a 0 in the middle. And you write that down, and then you use that as the modifier to the D20 roll. And if that meets the stat of the challenge, then you succeed. And the challenge is standardized to 12 unless specified otherwise. So unless the game master says this monster is 16, if your modifier your stat is the modifier plus the die equals 12, you've won. So you don't even have to like ask, you always just roll it. I don't know, it's simple once you get your head wrapped around it, right? Like everything.
I think the only reason I haven't gotten that on my list is because of the setting. I didn't find the setting.
Yeah. The setting is just because they're Swedes, right?
Yeah.
Well, like you don't have to say more
for a second. It was like, wait, Swedes? What?
You just gotta keep in mind they're Swedes. Mm-hmm. After that, like
I've only looked at Adventure Conquer King first edition when it first came out, and I liked a lot of the advice in there and a lot of the systems, but it was nothing that made me want to like switch over to play that game.
Yeah,
it was just it's at Morkborg I haven't played yet, and I've only vaguely looked at it. I really like it stylistically. Like the style is, dude, like it's this, but it's awesome. Like it's very artistic. It's very cool. My buddy Andrew, actually, who's not a role player per se, he's more of a miniatures guy. He's actually gotten into role playing through Morkborg, or back into role playing through Morkborg. He used to play back in the day, and he was like, "Hey, dude, I'm going to run a game." Like I saw Morkborg, it totally like fueled my imagination, and like I'm going to run a game. I was like, "Hell yeah, dude, that's awesome!" So it's obviously doing something for somebody. But it hasn't like inspired me per se. Like I just kind of took a look at it and I was like, yeah, it's another D&D clone. Cool. Like,
yes and no. Like,
I know it's different. I know it's different, but
it's different, and it's a lot more streamlined, obviously, because there's a lot less going on.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for like a beginner player to get into too.
Totally. Yeah.
Because there's like there's like 20 spells or something like that.
It's like a one book system, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like everything is in. Give me a minute.
Yeah, I've taken a look at it. It reminded me of something.
Sorry about that, everybody.
It reminded me. It reminded me a lot of the punk rock art I would see back in the '80s.
Yeah.
Very.
No, it's digest size.
We used to get a lot of flyers for gigs and whatnot, and it just I wish I would have kept some of those from back in the day. But
and
it had that sort of style, very very indie, very raw.
And it's only
the book when the campaign is finished.
71 pages.
Yeah.
Right, and then it comes with like a thing. Rob Black Sudge is in there, and I don't know the layout for this dungeon here, right? Like it's just a dungeon at the back, is judged to be one of the best laid out dungeons ever made. Like period.
Why is that?
It's just the walkthrough on it is like your players could look over your shoulder and not know what's going on in the next room ahead because it doesn't foretell anything unless you turn to that page, and
well, I mean,
everything is like you can go anywhere you want without having to rewrite the whole fucking campaign or the whole dungeon.
Well, I mean, if you see the back, you see the back. I mean, there are things you can glean from that.
Yes, if you see it, but like it's assumed your players know because it's a known location, but like it's hard to explain. That there's nothing about what's happening next in the next room at the beginning of the book or at the beginning of the thing, and then there's like a thing to randomize certain sections of it, so it's not always the same. You don't have to like if you're a new DM or a new GM, you don't have to learn every aspect of the system to rejigger the dungeon because it's built into the dungeon, right? Like, so if you need to change something to make it harder or easier.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just all the things I've read about.
A lot of folks who are not big fans of the art style.
Yeah,
I can take it or leave it. It's just for me, it just reminds me of punk in the '80s.
Yeah, like that's what they were going for. If you like the art style, you like it. If you don't, you won't. But if you're indifferent, like I am, like I like the cool skeletons and shit like that. Like that's
is that you, James?
That's fantasy.
I don't recognize you, dude.
Fantasy role playing games to me, like that right there, like a fucking skeleton warrior.
I love the art style. I really appreciate it. I think it's really rad. It reminds me more of the like first wave or the very beginning of the second wave of black metal kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's what they were going for, right? Like there's a whole list of songs and.
Hey Cody, do you know Denmark Dandy? Andy?
No, I do not.
Okay. I don't either. And I can't see your face, so can't let you in.
Yeah, we've had enough of Shadow's adult productions on this channel.
Yeah, you're brand new. I don't let newbies in. without sending me a link to your channel, stuff like that. If you become a regular in the chat and whatnot, we'd be more than happy to get to know you. But we've had too many issues.
Would you like a graphic description of a guy whacking off on this channel?
No, thank you. No, thank you. We have firsthand experience. You want Ray Harryhausen skeleton combats? Every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, if that guy does not give that to you,
if you don't post in the comments, then plus Basic Fantasy is cheap.
Yeah,
I don't mind cheap, but what I like better is a deal. I like knowing that I
sent you
like way less than originally.
I sent you a link to the website, and the website has the book on there for free, like as a PDF minus the art. Right, so if you don't like the art, it's not going to help you. And
related typo. No worries, James. Yeah, I think I have the PDF, but you might have already sent it to me.
Yeah,
but I know I've seen a lot of the art, and I went and looked through it, or maybe it was a video.
A lot of the art is also like public domain stuff, like this image.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you can't afford it, to hire someone, but you could find public domain art that really, isn't overused. That's what I like about Joshua's Total Party skill system. The art is perfect. You couldn't, or I should say, you probably could not find someone who could reproduce art like that today. Maybe you could, but you'd pay for it. And why pay for it if you could just grab it off an old pulp magazine or a pulp novel from, what is almost 100 years ago? That is actually, there's something about that for me, because I grew up reading a lot of pulp. Just so to see that artwork, kind of come back, even in just a little way, is fun for me.
Not all the art is old, right? Like they had an artist, like this stuff is original art, but and the cover obviously, and but the image I showed before that, this is the weapons, right? So you roll to see what weapon you're getting off
I've
of
seen
this.
that before, actually.
This is the table you select the weapon from, which is only modified with the blood splatter, right?
So what are you painting there, Cody?
I am painting I'm actually basing some old school Harlequins.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking about Harlequins earlier.
Yep.
I am just about done with this army. I just got these few guys to base here, and I will be pretty much wrapped up with them.
Now the Harlequins was an entire army, right?
What rule set are you going to use, or are you just doing it because?
No, I play with a buddy. We play 2nd edition and Rogue Trader. Yeah.
Yep. That's what was the best.
The full army here in sight here.
Ooh, yeah. I saw you picking that up. Sweet.
Nice. That was one of the most iconic armies of all time. You have to admit,
Oh yeah, totally.
There's almost nothing that screams freaking original like that one did. Mind you, it wasn't 100% original because it was, based on gestures and that sort of thing. But
well, GW always was really good at that back in the day, right? Like they kind of stole ideas from everywhere, but they made it their own. That was really cool.
Hell yeah.
And the cool thing about like old school GW, it was very like tongue in cheek, right? Like there was a lot of satire.
They did not take themselves too seriously which
Exactly.
was something that I noticed right around third edition. They just lost all semblance of a sense of humor, other than orcs. And I mean,
They
come on,
fell shortly afterward.
yeah, it's all got to be serious. And that was, I had two friends that we gamed together a lot back in the day, and one was a chaos player and one was an orc player, and they never ever took it seriously. I was the guy who did. I was playing Imperial Guard. It's all about strategy and artillery and things like that. And I wish I wasn't such a stick in the mud back in the day when I was playing with them, because I missed out on some of that.
Yeah, I think that's really a lot what GW lost. Like they lost a lot of that
Soul.
that humor. Soul. They lost a lot of their soul, because back in the day you had these guys that were gamers. They weren't just gamers; they were interesting people, right? Like Rick Priestley went to school to be an archaeologist, and he studied history, and all these guys had been around, right? Like they had done different things, they had studied different things, they had different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, they were gamers that were interested in games, and they were very like creative people. And nowadays, like there's nothing like new or creative or interesting or funny coming out of GW. It's all just rehashes of all the old stuff. And
not
on
even
top of that, they've completely lost the point of what that meant.
Well, it's like they'll rehash the old stuff, but they'll strip out the humor of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
They don't understand the point. They don't understand what was cool about it. They've lost all perspective about what was cool about all that shit in the beginning.
Welcome to the show.
Wog is a thing an orc says, not a satire of like a lower class football hooligan.
Yeah,
right?
Totally. Yeah.
So, now don't get me wrong. I hated once third edition came out. So much bugged me. They lost a lot of the flavor, and they kind of realized it, like the old codexes. And then you look at third edition codex versus the second edition. The second edition codex really flavored out a lot of stuff, and that was good. I do miss the first edition where it really encouraged you to do it yourself more than the second edition.
Absolutely. That was the spirit of gaming at the time.
Yeah. Oh, you got yours is in much better shape than mine is.
This is a reprint. This is
original. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at with the Battlefleet thing, right? Like I would have loved it if I could have had like a chaos ship that was one half a fighter, like a carrier, and the other half like a cannon wall. So if my ship was facing this way, you were getting hit by fighters, and if it was facing this way, you were getting hit by bullets or missiles.
Which is a very chaos way of thinking.
Yeah, or like a very, very like ship of the line kind of mentality. But
did you guys have the Realms of Chaos books?
Totally. Yeah.
The what?
Yeah.
The Realms of Chaos, Volume 1.
Yeah. 2. I might still have it.
I have
Slaves
to
Darkness, and what was the other one? I can't remember the other one. Slaves to Darkness was one of them.
Yeah. Well, what I liked is that you could mix your Warhammer Fantasy Battle with your 40K with your Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
Yeah.
Totally. And it had for everything in there. It was really intended to kind of buy books. You do it yourself. Let's not forget the Interrogator. What was it? Jacques Clouseau, whatever his name was.
Oh, and the halfling.
No, he was an Interrogator. He wasn't a halfling. It was like
no. But I was trying to remember the name of that set with the halfling cooks. That was kind of like a catapult by just taking a hot pot of stew. And
the fantasy one. Yeah, the fantasy had some great stuff in there. It was meant to be fun. You meant to sit down.
Do you guys remember? I think it was Inquisitor magazine.
Yeah.
The white covers. Some indie company. That was the entire spirit of the hobby, the whole hobby, as one big thing back in the day where you were encouraged to do everything whatever it took to get your game running.
I
Instead
had
of
Space Crusade, by the way.
instead of you
So-
you need to buy every single nut and bolt from us. Every single page you need to buy from us, and that's the
Yeah.
mentality now.
Well, they had better. Well, to be fair, and I'm not saying they had the best miniatures that were out there, but they were the best miniatures I found around. When I went out,
Gold Mountain was pretty good back then.
no, I'm just saying of all the miniatures I saw in my
Even Alternative Armies
Yeah.
was only Nat's wing underneath their quality. I'm painting one right now. For back then. Now,
yeah.
clearly, Alternative Armies is no comparison. But they did have their charm, and there were companies out there, and they didn't mind.
Yeah. Did you
Okay,
see
well,
the? I know that you were talking about Gene Stealer, but I'm not sure if you guys. Yeah, that's the one I remember. But
Yeah, so I was just, this is like totally the spirit
Jackie,
of GW.
my son and I took that exact thing as one of our very first crafts on the channel. We took what we did though was instead of making tanks, we made like Luke Skywalker land speeders 2 and 4-seater, like you would just see parked out, in front of the bar or at the grocery store.
Absolutely.
And my son was like, what are you talking about? We went to the dollar store, bought some deodorant, took them apart, washed them off, did it, bought a car model kit and scrapped parts from that. That right there is the spirit of what gaming should be. Not this, everything must be from us.
Well, the problem was that GW went public, and as soon as
I'm
they
gonna pop
did
that down, okay?
it's as soon as GW went public, they then it just became about investors, and it stopped. The people that were doing it weren't gamers anymore. But it's not that they don't have beautiful models, but I'll say this much: when the Space Hulk came out, which was I think 3rd edition with the push and fit,
halfling chefs. That's the word I was looking for, James.
They're pushing
in here.
But they're push and fit models for Space Hulk third printing or whatever you want to call it, 3rd edition. Man, those are fantastic. I mean, those are top notch. But I remember first dealing with
back when White Dwarf meant something. When it was all about customizing and doing whatever you and your buddies agreed to. This making the game yours, not being part of this cult.
Well, 3rd edition came out in like 2009 or something like that. So we're talking much later.
Yeah, I had long.
98 is when 3rd edition 40K came out.
Yeah.
No, not 40K.
3rd edition fantasy. Oh, Space Hulk. Okay.
Space Hulk. If you look at it, those are the push and fit models. And why GW hasn't done a lot of that? Because the quality was still there, but the time of assembly was much less. So people could actually put them together and play. And that's what gets me. Yeah,
because the colored plastic as well.
Yeah, you just cut the plastic out, you just push fit them, but the quality was right up there with the best of the GW model.
They started to do that across the range.
Sorry, James. Nobody cares.
When
get your ass in here.
What was the Indictum or the when the new Space Marines came out? The
Intercessors or whatever
the
Primaris Marines.
Primaris. Yeah. What was that box set when they first came out?
I don't know.
If you look at that box set, they were all push fit, and then they were doing that periodically across the line, and then I guess it became like too expensive or something.
No, well they couldn't sell as many because they were stuck
when.
No, because they everything is now unipose or monopose, not unipose. Right, everything is everything that they release now is in like a single pose.
Not that I've looked at some of what they've done.
They have characters in different poses, but their poses aren't adjustable like they were before. There's no ball joints anymore. There's no swivel points. There's no like a sprue of pouches. It's all that model has that pose.
My
and then the
younger
next
brother
model
bought
has
a
a different pose.
My younger brother
Welcome to
bought
the
a
show,
box of
James.
Cadians, and he was so disappointed that they weren't posable. He was like, "Why do they have so many parts, but you can only position them in one way?" He was like, "What the hell is this?"
Well,
Yeah.
the very first thing I got from 40K were 30 Space Marines all together with individual weapons and everything else.
Mhm.
And they had, we're talking what, 89, something like that, whenever it came out. But they had the pouches, they had pistols.
Grenades.
You could
Yep, I know.
put
I
on.
remember that.
Yeah, they had everything you needed. And then GW went to 10, and I was like, well, wait a minute, I want to have 30. But I think the problem really comes, and to be fair, is I understand in how companies have to make money. I do. So I don't fault them for that. What I don't like is what I consider the hatred that they have towards the
It is
what made that
3
hobby
times.
great.
It is 3 times the cost of like a Warlord miniature, and 4 times the cost of a Mantic miniature, and
Yeah.
about twice as expensive as North Star, and like quite a bit of metal. Like it's pretty crazy. I always find their starter sets a really good value, and if you just want to like some minis to play with, like that's the way to go. Or even their board games, like even if you don't intend to play the board game, you can get some nice minis that way.
Yeah, the what was it? Aeronauticus Imperialis was a fine game right out of the box. I mean, after you put together the 50-part, tiny little aircraft,
not that
it was a good game. It was solid.
Cool.
I'll play it again. But will I play Kill Team or 40K? No.
Well, I bought 10th edition like a goober. Like I was really primed to get back into it, and I read the rules, and I'm like, oh, they're not too hard to understand. And then in the first weeks of it coming out, they're like, this has changed, these are changing, this has changed, this is worth this now. And I was like, I give up. I can't keep track of all it.
Yeah, they change
have a
editions like every year now. So
No. They printed a book and then they changed all the rules in the book.
yes,
Yeah, it's crazy.
exactly.
It's crazy. I just can't. So
For the same edition.
I would use my 40K minis just in a game of like Xenos Rampant or one-page rules or something like that. Like
Space Weirdos.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's a good one too. People talk about that one a lot. So, yeah.
Clearly, I've arrived just in time for my favorite subject.
This is
Yes, you should.
show, so
Oh, I couldn't find my it's somewhere, it's probably buried somewhere in there, but I couldn't find my Space Hulk. But the push fit were great in it, but they each had individual models when you stick them together, and then you could play the board game, and that's what I really want. Like I said, I don't want to spend time like you guys spend hours and hours painting. I just want to put something on the damn board and let's play.
Well, I have like 3 layers of like war game avoidance. The first one is like I'll play a computer game to try and siphon off some of the energy of like getting into a period, and then like the next level is like maybe I'll buy a board game, and then it's like, oh, I'm getting really into this period, so then it's like, okay, I got to do an army.
So James, what are you painting?
At the moment, I'm rolling a spliff.
he's painting weed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Freaking
I'm
degenerate.
still working on my Marian Roman army. I'm gonna do Julius Caesar v Pompey, and then I'm gonna do Gauls.
What rule set?
Probably DBA.
DBA, cool. Yeah, I play a lot of DBA.
Don't know
I
DBA.
just love the basing style, like the way units kind of lock together. It's like sacred geometry of some kind.
What is DBA?
DBA is an ancient rule set. It's been around for a long time. Basically, every army has 12 bases. Your army is basically predetermined by whatever culture you're playing and whatever time period, and there's like army lists. It's very basic. You only roll 1d6 and then add modifiers based on what you're fighting. So, like heavy cavalry versus heavy infantry is, a different modifier or whatever. And you either push them back or you kill them. But it's very tactical. It's very chess-like. So you have to, it's very gamey. right? Like
Yeah.
you like if you know the game, it really helps, and it's a lot of fun for what it is. And the other great thing about DBA is you don't need a lot of stuff because every army is 12 elements. You have 12
Yeah.
base, and that's
Okay.
it.
So
Like-
it works out to about 30 or 40 figures a side. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty reasonable. It's very
Mm.
abstracted in that sense. But there's a fantasy variant called Hordes of the Things.
Yeah. Hordes of
Okay,
Things.
someone
I
just sent me
love
the
as
PDF
well.
for that.
Yeah,
you,
I
James?
love that game. No, I don't think so, but it's a good game. It's a good game, and they're doing an updated version soon, which will bring some of the.
No, it wasn't that. It was Horde Wars. It was Biggest Geek is sent me
Okay.
Horde Wars.
Yeah, my friend Joe actually is on the team right now. He's on the development team for DBA.
Really?
And Hordes of
Oh.
Things. Yeah, he's
Oh, that's cool.
my gaming group's actually one of the playtest groups for Hordes of the Things and DBA.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I just got the their horse and
Ask Raven
musket,
what she's painting.
their horse and musket type rules, and they're really cool as well. I
Yeah,
like
they're fun too.
DBR. I like DBR as well. I'm a big Renaissance guy. English
Mhm.
Civil War is like my second big love after Ancients.
Mm.
We're
Yes.
bringing out the cool kids tonight.
I'm just shocked. Omanal has said 3 words since he's been here. I'm like floored by this. I'm literally
Hey,
trying to figure out.
Well, we're talking miniatures, which is niche already. Then we get into historical miniatures, and we just start whittling down. So now it's like me and like this dude.
Have you met
I've
Omanal?
never seen-
James,
you know
James,
Omanal?
Cody, James, Cody, Raven, Cody. Raven, what are you painting?
I'm finishing up my dragon.
Okay,
Mm.
hold on. Let me blow you up so we can see it.
How about you reduce that featured chat so we can see each other's names, bro?
That
Nice.
is old school.
Cool.
freaking
Old school.
gold.
Is that pewter?
Dick.
Yeah,
Is
no,
that
it's
the old
lead.
like?
That's an original lead.
Maybe.
I sent
Oh,
that
okay.
to her. That thing is literally like 45 years old.
Oh.
So was that 4,500 years old, Shadow?
1980, literally
What was that?
1980. That came
So
out.
what came before BCE? what did they use on the calendar before that, Shadow?
You know how Shadow got that miniature? First, he started by inventing lead.
He actually invented lead, and then he fought a real dragon and used the magic of Trismegistus to convert the dragon down and then cover it in lead. So actually, it's a real dragon.
It was a bitch getting it in that pose, I tell you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You knew where to
1980 is
tickle
not
the
that long
dragon,
ago.
sir. You knew where.
We know
He
you
had
have
to
a
put it
lot
up
of
where
progress.
the watch was kept. That was the whole thing.
It's got a really like cat-like pose, so I knew she would dig it.
Meow.
Whatever you say
dragons are
there.
always. Most dragon minis are all like rah. No, this one's just like
It's just chilling. It's chilling.
it's just chilling.
Kind of doing half loaf thing. Yeah.
So hopefully next week you'll be working on the giant I sent you. Hold on, Cody. Let me blow you up and see what you're working on.
That's the old school dragon that painted.
Oh, I have that one. That's
Yeah,
I've got that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Ralph
cool.
Bartha, Tom Meyer. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's good
No,
stuff.
Nice.
one of the greats. One of my
Nice.
favorites was Max Carr. His figures had just so much character in the faces for 25 millimeter. You could see the smiles and the eyes and just they were almost cartoonish for D&D back in the day. But
Yeah.
I really just loved it. They're the bugbears. They're the classic right out of the old monster manual. The shaggy sort of yellow, wearing a shield for a chest plate, kind of just loved them.
Totally.
Edgy opinion. I fucking hate Ralph Parthia.
Really?
Hate him.
Uh,
I
In
don't think they
particular
were-
reason is the
I don't think they were good for the time that they were making stuff. They overproduced junk.
you can kind of say the same about Grenadier. Ralph Partha
Yeah.
was more. They wanted to be a historical miniatures line.
Yeah.
Well,
as opposed to-
which year you're referring to? Because when Malpartha was like in the early '80s, there wasn't too much out there. for
I think
competition.
Yeah, there was Grenadier, there was Heritage, there was Raul Partha, and
Well, they competed with
Custom
themselves.
Cast and Hinchcliffe were ancient history at the time. So they're really, you're right. There wasn't a lot of competition. It was those three companies that spurred all the other companies out there, and nobody went the route of Heritage except Games Workshop. I suppose were the only ones who really tried to make miniatures that were humorous, that were funny, and not so serious.
Well,
Grenadier, they were literally the McDonald's of miniatures back in the day. And Ralph Partha was the most serious.
I think
Well,
Ralph
Partha-
Partha 15s, which are still made today, are very good.
I don't know. I don't like the.
figures. The Demon World figures are pretty much like Old Hammer adjacent, and if I was playing the Old World, if I was inflicting that on myself, I'd probably use Demon World figures.
I think they
I've
had like.
got the Demon World box set. I need to pull that out one of these days because it's.
Yeah, I sent you some more recent ones as well, like a while back.
You know how
the
most
questing-
companies.
The Questing Heroes guys.
Right.
Remember those in the Southern Death Cult? Like they're the yeah.
You know how most companies have scale creep going upward.
Yeah.
I always got the feeling that Raul Partha had scale creep going downward.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong. They were very, very skinny miniatures. Everybody else was
Well,
going.
Raul Partha was all over the place in scales.
Yeah,
Like I have Raul Partha coming out the years from all the way back from the first days to now, and like they were.
Does anybody remember archive miniatures?
Yes.
I've got all of the Arduin, all of the Star Wars clones or copies, whatever you want to call it. Nice. And I still have access to all of the original. What the hell are you? Oh my God.
he's doing the dishes. I hope he's doing the dishes.
Hold on.
I'm ready to. I'm reaching my ovulation stage.
Oh my God. Where's Jackie?
Wait, there's
Oh.
more. Yeah.
Hey, until you make the unicorn horn, I'm gonna
He
keep
already
you-
had it. It flopped off.
It flopped off.
I couldn't maintain it. Story of my life.
It was just like the
You just need, you need the
Daycock
blue.
from,
You need the blue
Tony.
dish soap. You need the blue dish soap.
I'll be back in a second.
Oh no.
He's gonna get the latex dish soap.
So, kids, don't do drugs.
Yeah, drugs are bad. Okay.
It'll lead to some bad things.
This
Drugs
is
are
your
bad,
hand.
okay?
Drugs are bad, okay?
Let your
So,
friends do drugs, and then make sure you keep incriminating pictures for the next 40 years.
Yes.
And that's why you have no
Cody-
friends, okay? All right there.
Cody, Bear, how was the game? I didn't get to see it yet. I'm gonna watch it later.
Did you kill Hungar like I told you to?
Tried.
No, I
didn't
didn't
say
kill.
try. I said do. I'm very.
You can't kill
disappointed.
Hungar. I mean,
Very
come on.
disappointed in you.
I mean, if the medical system can't kill Hungar off, what makes you think that some DM can?
So that's what I thought every episode had to have a foamy head in it. But
Is this
Shadow
where they
gets it.
saw you right
Justin
here and
gets
then
it.
they drink out of your brain or something? I mean,
Is it like the
With the
weed
foamy
just
head?
extra better where you are? Like,
It must be. Well, it's like everything else out there. If it doesn't kill you, it gets you incredibly high.
he's just upside down right now. That's why
Venom.
all the blood is going over there.
it's so strong. It's so strong in New South Wales that it was like reclassified as a Class A. So for a little while. So yeah,
Wow,
pretty good.
pretty good, huh?
what are you wowing about? Isn't it a Class A federally in the states still? The
Not that I
states,
know of.
individual states have it decriminalized. but did your
Federally,
federal
yeah.
government federally, it's
The
still
world
Class
is
A.
not. The world is not America, my friend. Come on.
No, okay, my friend. I live in Canada. Thanks anyway, my friend. Above me just said
England.
wow about the Class A. Hence why I'm asking him if it's still in the States a Class
No,
A.
it's been decades. So what the hell do I know?
Well, I think it is. I think it still is. Like that's what they're.
Yeah.
Remember
It is. It's
dispensaries
still up
were
there where
having
they say it has
time-
no medicinal purpose. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
because
really?
the
But
dispensaries weren't allowed to deposit
Well, I
bank
get
accounts
mine-
with their earnings because it was considered criminal enterprise on the federal level, and the banks couldn't.
I get
touch it.
mine from a dispensary because my spine is absolutely wrecked. But I, like a true halfling hobo, I'm now trying to assemble a cigarette out of pencil shavings.
I told you not to star in that film, Shadow.
Halfling Hobo's 9. No, I said halfling hobo, not the other kind of halfling. I mean, no disrespect to halfling homos represent. But one love.
it's all about the midget porn.
You're on
isn't
this
it, with
channel, man, Bear.
Yeah, but
Bear,
dude,
you're
you're
on this
like the
channel.
next level for this channel.
you?
No, there has been male pornography.
I wasn't here for the dick and the titties, Justin. I wasn't.
The
here for
titties
it.
is something Shadow made up. I've never seen
It
titties
really
on this
isn't.
channel.
Yes, Justin. We know you've never seen
But
titties
weren't
in
they
real
like
life. It's
grandma
okay.
titties?
I've seen them in real
Weren't
life.
They were.
Not on
They
this
were.
channel.
They were.
They were titties from another time.
She's
That's my
actually
favorite Roger Corman movie. Titties from another time.
she's actually got a prepper channel. I
You
checked out her
keep
channel
telling
before I
us
went
that.
on, and oh my god, I'm like,
Well,
no
Justin,
F's to
appreciate
give.
You're a
I mean,
prepper.
literally,
Let's show our titties.
right? No F's to give whatsoever. Just
Justin likes a nice pair of Obergruppenführers. I know that much.
And Justin.
There's nothing worse than someone that exposed their midriff and you get flashed.
guys.
Nerd.
See, there you go. Thank you.
Oh wow.
It was.
I'm sorry, nerd.
Just
You can
Justin,
wash your
Justin,
eyes with like saline solution if it helps.
Justin warns everyone, don't allow this. And Child's like, you know what? Maybe I'll put him on. He's like, don't do it.
The question is, what is she preparing for exactly? An orgy? I can't become an orgy guy. Like my mustache just isn't that rich, Like
Mm. This is with me not shaven.
Justin, we started.
I'm not that organized.
I told
Well,
you. I told
back
you.
to
You didn't
your,
want...
Back to the topic you were trying to bring up, Shadow.
This show does not have a topic.
Painting and crafting fair.
Wait. You mean when miniatures actually were topless? That's what he was trying to get on to.
The Sorceress was a great
City model.
miniature produced by
Superior
Games
models.
Workshop.
It's a great game,
Oh.
Cody. I really enjoyed it too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Yeah, we did great. It was good. Super
When
fun.
when this one ends, I will go and check it out. Provided I don't have to do something else, but I'll get to it before the evening.
If he doesn't have to produce another film.
It's just him shearing a sheep while doing his taxes.
So, Bear, are you
Shearing his
painting anything? You working on those BattleTech?
He's using crayons on the
Listen,
standees.
Listen, I'd like to make a point, okay? Hanging around all you people who paint, it's clear the fumes are doing something to your brains. It's clear. It's evident.
Justin
at
licks
this
his brush. See?
point. So therefore, what few
He's
remaining
more paint than
cells-
man. Now, he's becoming the paint. He's all the pigments at once, and none at all.
It's the turpentine when he cuts himself that just gets to you. It's the smell.
These are fine, but you should put them on a flocked base to
With
show
the
them that you
enamels.
care.
He's like, I just cut
There's no
myself so I
turpentine.
can water down the enamel paint.
Bear,
You don't
yeah.
use turpentine.
Send me,
now.
if you send me your
of course.
BattleTech miniatures, I will paint them for free for the
It's okay.
cost of shipping.
No, it's okay. I don't need any painted miniatures in my home. I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are you gonna actually give BattleTech a try? Do you have folks nearby to play, or
A buddy of mine plays. I could play with him anytime I could play BattleTech with him anytime I want. But yeah, we'll see.
No desire. Did you
See, I like having a nerd cabinet. I like bringing completely uninterested people over and going, and this is for the War of the Spanish Succession, which took place in 1701. And they're like, that's nice. Can we leave now?
I'm just seeing
that
that James
What?
has this whole basement full of people all coming up there and like, please let us go. We swear we'll play the Teutonic Knights.
When they said you need to make friends, I thought they meant stitch people together.
By the way, Bear, I will gladly play BattleTech with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Did you go through the book, Bear? Did you look at the art and that sort of thing, or did you just get minis?
It's on the shelf. I've opened the box twice.
Okay.
Both times, once when I did the box opening, second time to show the unpainted minis. I got a lot of shit on my plate right now. BattleTech is not important to me.
Yeah, I've
Heretic.
I painted the minis. I can say that, but
Comstar is going to make you pay your phone bill, Bear.
Okay.
Speaking of which, with AT&T going down along with Verizon earlier today, I don't know what was going on with that, but
they didn't pay their phone bill.
Actually, I heard about that. There's this weird thing going on with the phone companies. They're not like wanting to work together or something. I'm simplifying where they don't want to like transfer calls from one company to another's phone, kind of nonsense. At least that's what I heard through the grapevine.
No, it was. I've heard different excuses. Well, one of them could have been a cyber attack. The other one could have been a solar flare. But I can say this much: my phone was working just fine. But my my coworkers, literally right next to me, theirs wouldn't work. So I don't know what was happening.
Hey, Omen, when are you going to start making chips in the US again? Do you not see the problem?
You mean Samsung?
Please start making chips.
Jim,
please start making chips in the US again. This would solve a lot of problems.
James,
you have so many security backdoors that you don't even realize.
45 miles south of me is a Samsung plant going up. Okay.
Well, that's good.
Yes,
that's good. Though.
Yes, but they're not making the chips there. They're assembling.
Yes, they are. No. They're the Samsung plant, and then we have the Texas Instruments. It's about 3 hours north of me. That's all coming down here.
I'm just saying, making them 100 kilometers from Beijing might not be the brightest idea.
It wasn't a solar flare. There was a weatherman that came on. I saw a video on YouTube earlier, and he said it was not due to a flare because it.
I don't. There's a. That's why I'd like to find out when these things shake out a bit. You know what's really going on, but.
Otherwise, just like that
I don't
example,
trust people of weather.
all the phones would have been out if it was a solar flare. It doesn't pick and choose who it likes. It prefers, Verizon over AT&T or whatever the hell. Yeah, it would have been everything.
Well,
AT&T was the only one who experienced a massive outage. Everybody else, it was in relation to trying to contact AT&T that was having problems. Therefore, this was an AT&T isolated event. Could it be a cyber attack? Potentially.
Yeah.
When you look at the outage map, it's mostly eastern United States, west of the Appalachians. So it's not really feeling like it was a massive cyber attack. It feels like someone at AT&T fucked up. Caused a little cascade in the region. Lock it down.
Somebody tripped over the power cord.
Yeah. No, it could be something that basic. It could be some idiot didn't upgrade on a server and didn't properly isolate it. A million reasons it happened.
See, I had both. Mine worked just fine. Both my AT&T and Verizon. Because I have one phone for work.
I guarantee you, human error. As for having the microchip plants in Taiwan, it's the one saving grace that will minimize any Chinese attack on Taiwan. Because if they destroy those fucking microchip plants, they're as fucked as the rest of us are. Because that's where they get their microchips from, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they have security backdoors in them, and American companies are still selling them. Like Texas Instruments is still selling, the chips that go in like Russian missiles and stuff like that. Like not much, not enough has been done to corral it and bring it back on shore. It's the biggest security risk that the United States actually faces, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Well, that's because you still live in a world where you think countries matter. There are no
Well, I
countries.
mean, I don't.
There
I don't
are no
assume
borders.
that the.
There are no nations. There are no peoples.
I don't assume that.
Yeah, that's just
Governments don't think that way anymore. That's for sure.
Governments aren't real. Governments are the
They're
fucking
in a-
show they put on for us, so we don't find out who's really running the fucking shit around here.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Oh,
right.
well, I have a fair idea. I think it's kind of public-private partnerships between.
Maybe it's BlackRock and only BlackRock.
Maybe.
They're part of it, certainly. But you know,
You put all the richest people in the world together, it's 300 odd people from about 12 families.
Yep.
They own
Yeah.
everything. Everything.
Right.
Walton.
No,
Yeah,
no,
Jim Boy. Jim Boy's there.
Yeah, it's the cast of fucking Green Acres and
Versus the surviving children of the Bonanza clan. Lauren
Yeah.
Green's kids run the world.
and
Green, Lauren Green, green card. Do you not see the connection? The new green economy. You know, come on.
yeah, the new green economy has nothing to do with the environment. It's all about
Lauren Green.
It's all about getting Lauren Green some bucks.
Well, he's dead, so it's all about getting his grandkids some bugs.
Nah, his head's in a jar. Grafted to a genetically engineered giant spider's body.
I thought about a sci-fi story where, like, they're showing off some like mutant robot, and there's like visible organs in like clear chambers hissing away, and like someone asks, "Okay, so what's that for?" It's like nothing. It just looks gross. It flexes on the good guys.
All I can think is I just saw The Mummy again, a couple nights ago, and it's just like canopic jars in the modern era. That's all it comes down to.
Maybe they perfected it.
Just it's a flex.
Really good Y files tonight, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, so you might want to catch that.
Oh, the
I've
Antarctica
been
one?
waiting to see that. I saw it earlier, but I was
Yeah.
doing something.
It was really good.
I'll probably listen to it at work. Well, we'll see. what
It's
goes
funny
on
because
tomorrow.
the show that Raven and I are on, we just did 2 weeks back to back on Antarctica, and then
Here's a fun one. Y Files did Antarctica tonight. Robert Seffer's doing Antarctica tomorrow. What's going on?
I don't know. Something is though.
Somebody watches that show and says, "Huh, we can crypt the notes and just."
So you think guys who have millions of subscribers were watching Shadow going well, fuck, he is the world's oldest man. Wait a minute. Justin, you're onto something.
hey, it's not even my show, but yeah,
Ah.
you'd be surprised how many.
Brian, why did you take down AT&T? Sorry, Shadow, why did you take down AT&T today? Why? What'd you do it? What was the goal? What was the end game? Was it to hide the aliens? What was going on?
Just to see if I could.
Yeah. Oh, I'm center square. Woo-hoo.
No. What he did is he was playing with the old Captain Crunch whistle, and it took it all down.
Shadow was the groundskeeper for the Garden of Eden.
He was the original phone freak.
Snake.
He was the original phone freak where they used to, use the tone.
Phone cops, man. Don't
He's
fuck
made from
phone
Adam's
phone
tennis
cops.
shoe.
I thought I was Kane. Isn't that the story we were
Yeah,
going?
you're
with?
all
Yeah,
those
listen.
guys.
You were Kane. You were Abel. You somehow killed yourself. We don't know how it happened. We weren't there. It was a long time ago.
He's a Dampier.
You barely remember.
You are the cunt Saint Germain. We've talked about this.
Or maybe he's like a John Carter, and he's like sleeping in a cave somewhere, like agelessly.
If he's sleeping in a cave somewhere and this is the reality he's dreaming, dude, you fucked up.
Or he just ate a lot of brie.
Dream better reality.
He just didn't have enough four-armed naked women. That was his
Can you
problem.
ever have enough of that? Can you literally ever? Where did Raven go?
Wait.
Oh,
Right there.
Wait.
I was used to her being down at the bottom, like.
Did
Well,
you
because
mean
she had
women
bent
with
down so
forearms?
like her screen was 90% black.
There you go.
The cat was probably in
Racist.
front of the thing. I can't find my silver paint. They've taken my silver paint.
That's a death
They've
penalty on
taken your
5
silver paint? Who are they, Raven?
The raccoons, she calls cats.
The
Oh,
cats,
the cats steal your paint?
the cats, the brats. Yeah, they're always on my desk and they knock stuff off.
Oh, okay.
Batting around and
I thought they were staging an intervention.
No, I found my car keys in the trash can. I have to make sure my trash can's pushed way back under my desk so that they don't hide my keys from me by knocking them in the trash.
My goodness.
First world problems. Telling you.
Well, you can get a lid for the trash can.
Yeah.
Very, very useful thing.
Yeah. I think I will do that.
You won't.
There's Justin, the problem solver.
Brilliant idea. Brilliant.
He's like, do you know how many meals they've kept me out of when they put the lids on the trash cans?
Seriously, it's a rough life for him. When they started putting the padlocks on the dumpsters, he was very upset. Fucking Taco Bell. How could they be dirty like that?
It's the
wow.
He's a were polar bear and he gets angry about that.
Hey. Ooh.
What?
You leave my people out of this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're not a were polar
I
bear.
thought they were.
Wait a minute, Bear.
You don't fucking know. You've never seen
Yeah, I
Churchill
do. You're a
Falls.
bipolar
You don't
bear.
know.
Bear, I thought you were a ginger. I mean, I know that's
was, but eventually we go polar.
Oh, and once you go polar, you never go back.
You would know with your film career.
This is what we do, Cody. In case you were wondering.
Otherwise, they're going to talk about fucking miniatures and paint for hours. So, we got to get them on other topics sometimes.
Hey, don't be knocking miniatures and paint. Like, it's what the show's all about.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah, what do you want to talk
important
about?
to you? I understand.
Basket weaving and interpretive dance?
Yes, exactly. No, you hit it right on the head, Jim. It's basket weaving and interpretive dance for me every day, all day. What I do is I actually work the dance into the weave. So by the end of the performance, I have the basket. And the basket tells the story of the native people and the tears upon the land. It's amazing.
I tried doing that and I turned myself into a wicker man.
I would pay so much money to see that. You have no idea.
Wouldn't. Trust me, you wouldn't.
So Barry, your game is going to be a backer kit next week, or is it
March 1st?
March 1st. So next week then. All right.
I guess next fucking the 20. This is a 29-day month, man.
I know, but isn't that like
next Friday?
30. It's a leap year.
No, it's 29. That's what makes it a leap year. Normally,
yeah, it's normally 28. Yeah, you're right.
I know. I'm already planning my 28 mil redacted purchases for this month.
This is the only month. This is the only year out of a 4-year cycle. It's okay to buy something from the government. Our government loves to have a term in its warranties for the 29th of February that it has to be done back by. So if you buy like a truck or something, it has to be the 29th of February, and it's yearly. So if you aren't buying something on a leap year, they're deliberately trying to screw you.
I don't think their deliberate efforts to screw us in Canada have anything to do with leap years, Justin. Come on.
Well, if you're buying something, right? Like, if you buy like some surplus computers.
Well, here's the real question. You're saying so many years, but if it's every leap year, that means everything in between those leap years, it's not covered by your warranty.
No. Well, if you buy something on a year that isn't a leap year and you try and return it, they'll say, sorry, this warranty is fraudulent, and then
I saw a photo of
not recognize it.
I saw a photo of Justin Trudeau getting his flu shot, and I left a comment going, "Look, I have my differences with Justin Trudeau, but euthanizing the PM is fucked up."
So it's starting to come out in the Ottawa-Gatineau gay community. The stories about Justin now are starting to come out. People are starting to talk, and there's rumors of videos and photos that CSIS and the RCMP may or may not be suppressing at this current moment in time.
What gets me about it is they always hold those back until they want to get rid of the guy, and then all of a sudden they come out like, well, you've known about this for 20 years. You've just been holding them, for blackmail.
It's just like, this shows you how much of a narcissist idiot this guy is. Is that like, okay, let's say for fun, Justin was the ruler of our nation. God fucking help us. and he is gay, as we know. He would be smart enough to not go to gay clubs and sex parties because he's the fucking prime minister of the country.
Yeah,
He would
just play
understand,
Vampire the
like
Masquerade.
a lot
the
of
rest it.
really good American politicians, he'd understand to do that shit on the down low so that no one can fucking come
Well,
back.
I don't know. Have you ever heard of Lindsey Graham?
Wait a
Really?
minute. What was that Finnish prime minister where she went out and
Although
She was doing rails and like
yeah,
having a good time, listening to like top 40 nonsense, like
Well,
like
that's
an
the big
HR
firm right
lady.
there, isn't it?
like an HR lady at a Christmas party, and everyone was just very upset about it.
with a bit too much alcohol, and
I don't think. I heard Justin had done something inappropriate with one of his students when he was a drama teacher. I heard that was the big scandal.
I know. Back in the day, like 2005, 2010.
I heard it was a girl and they paid her off.
They
was
did.
bisexual and
Well, back in the time frame I suggested,
He's
he
fine.
was a recruiting.
Hey, what's up, Colonel Cronk?
He ran recruiting for CSIS. Well,
I'm-
he had a recording department for them.
Right.
I'm just
I know.
thinking that he's like the mad
know.
black monk from Blackadder, where he says,
Ooh.
do you remember that scene where he's talking about if it's animal, mineral, or vegetable, there's nothing too deprived for me. That's the way I feel about most of our politicians.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think that like the salacious biography is like the least of it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, they're a bit pervy. Like lots of upper middle class people are, unfortunately. But
You can't get into that line of work without being a little bit pervy. So
quite possibly. But I think it's like the damage that they do to institutions and the waste of taxpayer money is like far more irritating. Unless, of course, they're stumbling into like harming children territory, in which case they should have their hands cut off in the public square. Good day.
well, what
So
was it?
Bear?
Brazil? Brazil caught their ambassador.
How is-
not their
Are you going to be
ambassador.
doing adventures for your Kickstarter? You going to have some adventures in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Uh,
I mean, I didn't want to get too political. I'd rather let's push Bear's opportunity to get his game off. And
Yeah, I need to discuss something with you later about your offer.
I've adjusted it.
what is it?
150. You pick either hardcover or softcover, and you get one character that you can have drawn. There's an add-on. Someone can buy a second character, or you can buy a first character if you didn't back it that high.
What's the entry level for the soft cover book?
35
$35 Canadian or American? Oh,
US.
American. Yeah. So like
POD
so like
fulfillment
300.
through drive-through.
So 300 Canadian.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. So sometimes I go on those things and I look up like, oh, $30. Oh, it's American, and I click over and it's like $125. It's like,
because
what's
you
up,
have to pay
Arman?
for shipping and handling and everything.
whoa. Yeah.
Whenever I buy anything from Canada, it just doesn't come.
Wow,
and then I
man,
email
losing
the guy, and he's like, "Yeah," like that's it. It's like Canada's just like, "Yeah, sorry."
Yeah,
It's happened
that's
like
us as the
3
people.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the thumb on the pulse of our cultural identity nationally there.
Yeah.
We scam
I'm
people in
like, so
Australia
you're gonna
and
do
then
a
go,
refund
yeah, okay.
or like
Oh,
send me
well.
another one or something? They're like, no.
He just looks over. It's like it has to be fraudulent. No one lives in Australia.
Yeah, he's like, what are you gonna do?
Well, it's not a real
Walk here
place,
and
first
give
of
me a
all.
piece of your mind.
Hey, Connell, what's happening, brother?
Hey, Connell.
Hey, Connell.
How you doing, buddy?
Are we doing
hope he's
Tron
doing
this
well.
weekend?
Connell, click the link. Get in here, you magnificent bastard.
Yeah.
Connell from
Yeah,
the
as
future
you can
is called
see, I can
Connell.
actually do.
We need to see how sober you are.
Hey, if any of us was going through what he's going through, I doubt we'd be sober. Yours truly included.
I Have you ever met Connell?
Well, not in person, but he's still my little brother.
I don't think I've ever seen him sober once.
I heard his middle name was Beveridge.
Connell Beverage DM.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, guys. I'm gonna have to get up tomorrow for work. So you take care.
You don't have
too,
a
Owen. I
job,
will see
you
you,
NSA working motherfucker. You know.
Thank you for continuing
you
to
Saturday, right,
subsidize
Owen?
my drug addiction. Good day.
Saturday, sure.
I mean
That's
Sunday.
fine.
Well,
Sunday. No, you know what? I was gonna take Sunday off. I was gonna let my characters level up and do the training, and then let everyone. So I was gonna take a little bit. I was just gonna take that weekend off.
Oh, you suck.
So no Tron for you?
No. I'll be there for Tron. I'm just not gonna be there for the game. I think is what Shadow's saying.
Okay.
I'll be sure to do something horrific to your character while you're gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If they're going to be dancing, what you can do is you can give them to James L. there, and then I'm going to be like, what the hell
You
happened?
should be able to draw a cock and balls on
Mitch
like
McConnell's,
passed-out
with their
players.
drunken cocaine-fueled orgies. You know?
It's like did you do any? What happened last week's adventure? Well, we killed the monster and we shaved off your eyebrows as a lark.
Oh. All right. You guys take care. Have a good night.
Bye now.
Hey, Connell.
Hey, what's up?
Connell.
Damn,
Hey,
you're
Jack.
loud.
I'm not loud. I'm just.
You are loud, you fucking guy.
You were there for a second.
And no, I just got.
Hello.
Let's see.
Hello, shirt guy.
What?
Your shirt guy.
Justin Trudeau called. He wants his shirt back.
He's a little loud.
Not giving it back.
He doesn't admit stealing. He doesn't deny stealing.
I'll see if I'm not giving anything to him though.
I think that's a lovely shirt, Jack. I just
No.
wonder if they make them for men.
Oh.
I hate you all.
Awesome.
The Prime
You're a
Minister
bro,
of
bro.
India would like to get his clothes back.
Modi. His name is Modi.
Is it Modi?
Howdy, Modi.
No, I can't drink until after Easter. Well, that's not true.
Oh,
So that's why you have a tube going in your arm.
you get swatted by Jesus.
Actually, I could drink on St. Patty's Day. We get a little bit of a pass there, but for the most part, I'm drying out until after Lent.
It's so hot. I even think
Really?
I might have a beer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gave a bacon for Lent.
I gave up 3 things this year. One was politics. I will not be talking any politics till after Lent.
Good for health.
That's wow.
You should probably leave now then.
He's really serious, folks. Wow.
No, I'll just chuckle to
Is
the
that a thing you
side.
did often?
No, it isn't.
No.
So that's anything that isn't a grain alcohol, right?
Yes, I can have mead. It's hard, little brother. It's made of honey.
There's this thing, Connell. They're called microphones. They actually magically transfer your voice from where you are to where the other people are. You don't have to yell.
I'm excitable. What can I say?
Yes, you're Irish. That's why you're excitable.
Maybe you have a white mustache. You look like you just did a bunch of coke.
I
You
love
didn't get my
this
stash.
cocaine.
Okay, first of all, now you're admitting it. Second of all, I don't even know where that is. Actually, I have a pretty good idea.
No, it was a song from Buck Cherry in the early 2000s, I don't know, called I Love Cocaine.
This guy does.
No, this guy does not.
He loves that stuff.
That's why he was featured on Days Confused when he's falling out of the back of a van. But that
was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Get it right.
We're in that too.
All right.
Oh.
Is this your first
Yeah,
time here?
I'm hoping this Sunday we'll do Tron.
Tron.
But what was that, Bear?
I said, Cody, is this your first time here?
I don't think so. I think you've been on once before, right, Cody?
No, I haven't.
Oh, this is your first time. Well, welcome to the chaos that is this
The
paint.
painting stream.
You know,
It's great being here for your first and last time here. It's pretty awesome.
At this point, it's just a picnic / asylum. Like, that's why
Hey, I gotta say, I'm getting a lot done. So
You know, me too. Believe it or not, I actually I didn't paint all week, and I was like, because my game canceled on Tuesday because the DM's mom passed away, and then Wednesday Jade is taking a hiatus for a little while, so there was no table gatekeepers, so I didn't get any painting done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I've got a lot of stuff to get done by the end of the month. So I better hop to it, I guess.
Okay. It's all right. You know, going back to your Richmond High days, hitting the good old herbal medicine. Although speaking of that, my doctor here recently is like, "Have you ever thought about this?" I'm like, "Why?" "Well, it helps that." I'm like, the first time a doctor's ever.
No, they all prescribe weed now. It's like it's a
Yep.
federal mandate or something.
It threw me off.
Well, it's supposed
I'm
to help
loving it.
with the appetite during the treatments.
The what?
Yeah.
It's meant to help with the appetite during the treatments because the treatments can kill your appetite, right? And if you're not eating, you won't keep your strength
Is
up.
that why I lost about 20 pounds?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It doesn't show, but yeah, they weighed me. It's like, yeah, you're about 20, 25 pounds lighter than last time we saw you. I'm like, well,
Could
fuck
be
you,
that, or
too.
you could have just had a really good dump before you went in.
I wish. God, it's like,
Yeah. But the question I have for you, Bear, is why do they prescribe it when you have a hangnail?
Well, that's because, Justin, they're pretty sure if they don't, you're going to self-exit at this point. So they're trying to give you reasons to hang around, and
Why would
giggling
I
might be one.
self-exit? I have a beautiful life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
How was that bean burrito the other day, by the way?
Oh, that's pretty good.
yeah, I had, speaking of beans,
I actually did have a bean burrito the other day. So.
I know, you mentioned it.
I had chili, I made chili dogs the other day and kind of wishing I didn't.
I also had a chicken and steak burrito.
Ooh.
That was
You're just
pretty
making me hungry.
It's to the point where I just don't want to eat. So I try to make food I honestly want to eat. And I'm thinking to myself, it's been forever since I've had a chili cheese dog. I'm going to make myself a chili cheese dog.
Oh.
Made everything, looked at it, ate it.
Yeah.
Stomach wasn't ready for it.
So, ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you.
I don't know, man. You did say you wanted to lose a little of the. Could be a good time to do it.
But it's not good wines.
No? What kind of wine is it?
Cheap.
Yeah. You know who actually has the best?
2021 Shiraz.
If you go,
2021 Shiraz. There you go.
if you look at whose wine is actually winning the most awards, 9 out of 10 times is whatever wine they have at Aldi's for some fucking reason.
I might just leave it open for a bit.
Isn't that the discount
Let
store?
it percolate.
Chateau Dollar General, Thursday, 4 p.m. It's great vintage.
It is Thursday, 4 p.m. actually. It's 3:38, and I buffed it out the window.
Isn't it Friday there now?
Yeah, it's Friday actually.
Well, you're not in a
I
real
love
place.
being
You can-
responsible.
You can
adult.
make up whatever time, date, day, month you want it to be because you don't live in a real place.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I don't really.
You live in a figment of the British imagination, so enjoy
That's
that.
That's the first alcohol I've had in quite
Their
a while.
empire,
Anyway.
their empire used to be so powerful that when they imagined a place, it just popped into existence.
Yeah.
You kidding? This is the last outpost of the empire in the Pacific.
No, New Zealand's still further south.
New Zealand is part of the Chinese empire now.
Oh,
But,
I don't know. I've seen pictures of New Zealand.
we nearly kicked them out of the Five Eyes because they're an unreliable partner at the moment.
You mean they weren't spying on your country for you?
That's correct.
So maybe I don't know about this Sunday. Maybe this Sunday. 'cause
Bear,
I'm-
do you not get how Five Eyes work?
I
Our
don't like their
country-
burgers, so I think it's really great that they give you
Well-
that bag of French fries. It's really good. Five Guys.
No, Five Guys, Five Eyes. The Five
What?
Eyes.
No, I don't eat eyes. No, that's disgusting. That's
The
French.
Five Eyes works this way. Our country, the U.S., Britain, New Zealand, and Australia
I know what the
all
Five Eyes is.
say we don't spy on our own citizens. So we get those countries to do it for us.
I thought Five Guys was how Justin was conceived.
No, that was Gamergate.
That's how he spends a long weekend. But don't get into it.
I have never starred in any of Shadow's productions.
Yet.
No matter how much you or
No
he
matter
want
how
me
much
to.
I ask him,
Yeah.
right?
You never.
Now you know the
saw-
secret.
Wait,
I'm
hold
rolling
on.
with Taco Bell.
You've never starred in any of Shauner's videos. Is that what I heard?
No, Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Shadow, the guy who produces gay
Don't
porn.
say that name. If you say it too many times, it's like Beetlejuice. He'll show up.
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh no, he won't show up. He won't show up. Trust me. That's what the smoke alarm is for. It's Shauna repellent. Oop.
I don't know.
That's funny.
Which is
Well played,
funny
Shadow.
because I'm actually, or I was once upon a time credited in his book on how to role play the hard way, but then he did what he did and took Maxley out and myself out of the book from what I heard.
Oh well. What were you in there as reality consultant? What?
Just helping him out,
Intervention specialist? What was your role?
I wish because if I had done that, I would have been successful. But
I feel
Jeez.
sorry for the guy.
I don't.
as you should.
So Cody,
Yo.
what you painting, man?
Well, I showed it earlier, but I actually just finished all my Harlequins. I am done.
The fun part is when he held them up like that, you thought you saw them all, but because there's Harlequins, there's actually 3 times as many. They're just blinking in and out
exactly.
of place.
Yeah.
You know?
You know the lore.
Yes.
Very nice, the lore.
That's cool. Christ, I just don't like miniatures, guys. Fuck.
Nah, I thought you wouldn't know it because you don't like miniatures.
Miniatures and lore can exist separately, you know. You don't have to have both together.
So there's a good chance I will be doing soon. We will be broadcasting from a different location. There's a place I recently started going to, and I'm really enjoying. It's a cigar lounge. I've talked to the owner. As long as I give him a shout out whenever I do my videos, he'll let me sit basically back in the poker room and do my thing.
That's nice.
That is nice.
And what is your thing exactly? Just
Because he wants
Well,
to
you
be
know
about
those.
it. He'll have to start casting right away.
There is
no,
a
do you mean your
I didn't know.
Movie
Connell
review?
was your scouting location scout there, Shauna.
Hey, what's up,
Or,
TCG? Hey, what's up, Cal?
Hmm.
No, I mean your movie reviews.
yeah.
Cool.
I mean, my handle is Connell the Cigar DM, and do you see any
Man,
cigars?
I got to keep
DM?
turning down my speaker every time you talk, Colin. And someone else talks, and I have to turn it up. Jesus Christ.
So,
No, it's okay. I still love you.
it's been forever since I actually done anything. Fuck. I have to.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for us to do the superhero game on Table Breakers, dude.
Oh, we need to talk about that at a later date.
Did you
later.
guys
What
already do
happened?
that?
Did something
No.
go wrong?
It's. I wish not to talk about it while we're live. We'll talk about. We'll talk
Well,
about.
I'm
it.
going to be going to bed, so I'm going to talk to you on Discord, and you can type and tell me.
Okay.
I could have swore I saw Table
And
Breakers
give me
do
the gossip later.
a video on superheroes a while back.
Yeah,
We
it
did
was-
superheroes like what 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I should be in bed. Fuck. Problem is, it's just there's no one else in there. Fuck that.
Why don't I see you on my Discord? Where the fuck are you?
I have no idea. I'm just there.
Just send me a message.
Gotcha.
Ping me, man. Ping me.
All right. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to bed.
All right. Take
Party
care,
on,
Cody.
Cody.
You're welcome here anytime you want to hang out and paint and chat. Hopefully, get shit done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I gotta do like Cody too. I gotta bounce out too, man.
No worries, man.
Party on, party on.
We're
It's
actually
time to take
15
some
minutes over.
melatonin and go to
There,
bed.
Cody. Thanks, guys, for showing up.
Shadow for you, brother, always.
I really appreciate that.
You're my
And
Mount
I'll
Shasta
hit you up.
connection.
I will hit you up on Discord as well about that thing.
Yeah, please do. But you understand, you're my connection for when the aliens take over. I know I'll be okay because I'm friends with you, right? You know that. That's
Fuck. If that's the case, I'm screwed.
Raven must have had technical difficulties, but she digs your show. So,
well, thank you kindly. You guys have a great night. Take care.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
See you.
Party on. So, Connell, there, bro. We still need to talk about that TV show we were talking about doing.
The Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, the Gilmore Girls, man.
I started rewatching it.
Okay.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I love the Gilmore Girls, man.
The mom's so fucking hot.
I enjoy females when they've finished developing, so I can't comment on this program.
The mom.
I don't know.
The mom.
The daughter was fully grown when she was on that show.
Yes, she was.
And she's 5 years older than me, so in real life. So
you traveled back in time just to abuse her. That's disgusting.
What are you talking about?
I don't even know.
You're Australian. The only girls
I'm day drinking. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
Day drinking. Oh yeah, it's 3 PM. Not
yeah. But it's Friday, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fuck.
Glad you're feeling better, James.
St. Patrick's Day for me is gonna be so fucking
glad
sad.
you're feeling better, dude.
Oh, it's just in a lot of pain. I didn't even go to the concert last night. I was meant to
really?
see. Yeah. I stayed home. I had to send in a stunt person to use my ticket. So,
what was the concert for?
It was Michael Rother from the band Noi, who are kind of like a krautrock, kind of psychedelic Kraftwerk adjacent band from the 70s. Pretty good drummer, from what I hear.
From what you
know. So my daughter walks up to me and says, "Dad, I got a joke." I'm like, "Okay."
How old is your daughter?
13.
Okay.
See what I mean?
It gives us a frame of reference to whether this is just like mildly disturbing or extremely disturbing.
Yeah,
That's why I ask.
I'm watching that movie that Netflix just dropped about the rugby team that crash landed and cannibalism has happened. I'm in the middle of watching this.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of this. My daughter looks up at me and says, "Dad, I got a joke." I'm like, "Are you watching the same movie I'm watching?" And she's like, "I got a joke, Dad." I'm like, "Okay, what is it? What's the difference between a slice of pizza and a dead body?" I'm like, "I don't know. A slice of pizza only feeds one person." It's like, "Yeah, you're my daughter."
That's pretty good.
What have you done to her psyche?
What was the thing about the original one? Alive or They Live or what was it?
It was Alive.
Alive.
Well, that movie came out in 1996. It was the same year.
How do you know that? How do I know that?
I could be wrong. I know it's.
Wasn't there a joke in that about eating the butt first or something like that?
It wasn't so much the joke, but it's the most tender. Yeah. I mean, I cook for a living, right? I know how to process animals. I could break down most animals. And the most disturbing thing...
Stay away from me, bro. Stay away from me.
The most disturbing thing I found is humans and pigs' organs are more or less in the same spot.
Yeah.
So when somebody says, I would like some long pig, I'm walking away.
Yeah, long pig. Oh,
There's an Australian pilot at the moment, and he's been kidnapped by tribesmen in New Guinea on the kind of Indonesian side of the border, and he's kind of like their political hostage, basically. But he does video updates from time to time with like the local commander of the rebels, and shit. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild. But those guys, they have been known to still practice cannibalism, like when the tribal warfare escalates. Pretty cool.
It doesn't surprise me. I was 3 years off. Their Shadow came out in '93. I just remembered it was just like the same year that Sandlot, the baseball movie, came out. And
No, I was just commenting on how you can remember any. Yeah, I couldn't tell you when like almost any movie came out.
I have a good memory. I didn't do pot in the back of a van in the early 80s.
In the 800s.
Granted, I've been
pot back then.
I mean, between rugby and boxing, I have been punched in the head quite a few times. So me remembering shit's always still amuses me.
Well, for you, it was the 1980s. For Shadwell, it was the 800s. It wasn't even the 1800s. It was just the 800s.
God. I missed you guys. I was no good for anyone there for a while.
Yeah. It'll happen.
I found a new cigar place. I feel better not drinking except for St. Patty's Day. So that's kind of weird.
You seem very, very longing for St. Patty's Day.
I want a beer. That's all right. Me and James are going to celebrate St. Patty's Day. He's going to drink his Foster's, and I'll drink my Guinness, and I'm so out of practice. Put me asleep.
Foster's?
I think I'm like 51% Irish. So, yeah, sure. I think I'm just like over the dial of like half Irish. So, yeah, sure.
It's an American holiday anyway.
Yeah.
More or less.
Foster's.
Sometimes when Americans are like,
no, Foster's is an Australian beer.
Like, oh, I'm Irish.
No,
I'm like,
they import it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Someone told me Foster's was like to us, but to them what Budweiser is to us.
It was some kind of export. It was some kind of export beer that was like, it's like, you know, like I might occasionally drink like a Miller, even though it's not a very good beer. Like it's light. So,
you know, Miller makes root beer. Miller makes root beer.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's called 1919, and it's actually really fucking good.
I can believe that.
Yeah, I'd try that.
Well,
but I drink very rarely. I just felt like a glass of wine today for some reason, because it's 1,000,000 degrees.
So it's a cold day, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like jungle temperature in the garage, which is why I'm not doing anything today. Plus, I'm forcing myself to rest because I can normally just keep going and going and going and getting stuff done.
Draft root beer.
I'm not very good at sitting still.
Yeah.
Is it still made from ginger root?
No, it doesn't taste like it is.
Oh. The same as.
I just know I drink a shit out of it whenever I go to there's a place up here called Wonder Dogs. They make the 1950 style chili dogs, and the root beer. It's root beer. I don't know. It's a old hot dog stand, I guess. You know, but Shadow, grew up with. Hey! I gotta get my jokes in. It's been a while.
Knock yourself out.
I'm trying to remember food. I've eaten like 4 pieces of toast in 3 days. It's too hot to eat. It's so freaking hot.
Why don't you do cold soups then? Do cold. I know it's foreign, but there's some really good cold soups out there that'd be amazing for when it's cold.
Maybe.
For when it's
Yeah,
hot.
it's hot.
It's
When it's
like
hot.
it's so.
Dude,
It's like
was it
burning.
gazpacho?
That's pretty
There's all
funny.
your vegetables, gazpachos.
Yeah,
and some
just
fruit.
Well,
for
that
you.
undid the career of Arnold J. Rimmer, didn't it? Gazpacho soup.
It certainly did.
Uh,
He never lived it down.
what was the other one? Potato leek, Vichy swamp, or potato leek soup. But it could be eaten cold.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe more like making a salad and putting like fruit in it as well.
That's good. Do some almonds, maybe some walnuts.
Those are fruit.
Something acidic.
Like a bit of apple and pear, bit of rocket and lettuce. Yep.
Yeah. Maybe not orange, but mandarin.
1919 still uses real sugar, cane sugar.
Yeah.
Not corn syrup. That's why.
Yeah, we don't use it either. Surprisingly, I would have thought we would be using the same stuff as you, but apparently ours is real sugar as well. With like Coke and all of that, it's not permitted. Thankfully, God,
Yeah.
I hate to imagine how fat I'd be if we had corn.
Actually, they ran those tests with the Mexicans because they thought that they would lose weight or whatever, and that's bunk. The sugar is not more or less fattening than corn syrup. Now it does have less estrogen buildup.
Right.
Corn syrup is like
that is,
it
of
does
course,
something with
why
the estrogen.
I'm a Giga Chad is like my beverage choices.
Well, you drink beer, so no. There's a lot of estrogens in beer.
Very rarely. Like
You drink red wine, as you just demonstrated. It doesn't matter if there's estrogen in the product; you're absorbing it from like the environment.
The label from the label. Yeah.
I'm so much of a snob. My wine comes in bottles that you have to get cork screwed open. There's no bags. There's no screw tops.
There's just a box and a cork.
Oh,
well, my aunt is coming to stay from Japan in a month or so, and the only reason we have wine is because of her last visit, like 2 years ago. We're still getting through the wine that we bought for her because she's such a wine aunt. She'll like happily drink a bottle in like a sitting.
Oh yeah.
Goddamn boomers and their alcohol, they're crazy for it.
It was weird for me to growing up. It was weird, especially with my grandparents and my aunt. Now that I think about it, it would have been weird for me to sit at a table where there was at least 2 different bottles of wine at the table.
Yes, but you're Irish.
I said wine, not whiskey.
My grandma would drink
that was
like
the
a little bit
fucking appetizer, man.
My grandma would drink
wine,
like a little bit of
whiskey,
sherry, but that's about it.
keg.
Like we didn't really have a boozy house because so
many
people in our family had problems with alcohol, so we didn't really have it around. Honestly.
Well, at Connell's house, every meal was like half a pork chop, 3 potatoes, and a 20-gallon keg.
Hey Cal, hold on a second. Hey Cal, how deep are you going in on the new Kickstarter, buddy?
Am I missing something?
Oh, he and I were on the same stream earlier, talking to Archon Studio about the new Kickstarter. Freaking just amazing shit.
I wish I had. I kind of wish I had energy right now to paint. My energy levels are just fucking shot right now.
Yeah.
How much energy does it take to paint? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I kept whacking my finger and it was hurting me. That's why I stopped.
It's the concentration.
For those of you that don't know.
Oh, what the hell did you do?
A week and a half ago, I fucking bashed the thing. Yeah.
What did it do to deserve that?
I don't know. Things I really can't talk about.
Connell.
Something. The Gilmore Girls.
No.
Yeah. That's his story. And he's sticking with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the Gilmore Girls had a thick German accent, maybe.
Nah.
The Friedman Fraus.
Okay.
Friedman Fraus. I don't know. There's that one picture of all those German girls in the gym attire and lineup. You ever see that one?
Being inspected.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the image.
Yeah. There's a couple of Fraulines in there that I wouldn't mind inspecting.
I don't know. I kind of feel that continentals have kind of square heads, and I don't want to destroy my lineage by squaring the square.
I don't know. My head's kind of. I could use a little.
Like, you know,
Squareness.
if I combine my square head with the square head of a German lady, like that child is going to be a cube.
I think child's fucked.
Yeah. He's going to be a literal Lego man.
A blockhead.
Yeah.
I miss Gumbo.
But
Not Gumbo.
Lego's a smart kid's toy, so it'll be a smart blockhead.
I was thinking Charlie Brown, but okay.
Yeah, he'll be a little Charlie Brown.
Oh, I loved that. I loved that with the adults in that show. It was so true.
Yeah, and then we became them.
It was like a fucking tuba under a pillow or something like that.
I'm just glad there's no fucking sci-fi Charlie Brown. And I don't know, that show always just kind of drove me nuts.
Charlie Brown?
Yeah, I was never a big fan. I mean, Snoopy's cool and all, but the rest of them can go take a fucking walk.
When I was a kid, I had a Cocker Spaniel who was black and white, and he was the naughtiest dog in the world, and I called him Snoopy after the cartoon because I had a lot of imagination at 5 years old.
I had a dog, and he was all black, so I called him Blackie. And then my parents were like, "Are you sure about that?" I was like, "Yeah, he's all black. He's Blackie."
Now he's a dog of color.
Yes.
I am trying to behave myself. I just want you to know that, Shadow.
You
don't have to, man.
I reached out to you the other day because it's been too long, brother.
He's a melanin mutt.
I just, yeah, it's this past Sunday when Mark says I'm out, and I really don't like doing a show when the person who picked the movie's not there.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, if I absolutely have to, I will, but I really don't want to.
We've done it before, but I know you're absolutely right.
We could have moved to the next person in line, but since Shadow's not on the show anymore.
Been busy, guys. Just been busy. As a matter of fact, next month is going to be even worse. I've got 2 things going on Sunday mornings.
I'm amazed.
You're not out. You're just out.
I'm amazed you get as much stuff done as you do. You have a pretty good strike rate considering how much you've got on at any given time.
Yeah, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy whose battle reports, I really want to shout out this guy because his channel's awesome. Like Basement 1908. He just does really big skirmishes of all kinds of periods and settings and stuff. And his battles are huge. They're like hundreds of figures aside, and like he invents backstories for like all the commanders and stuff.
We'll type it in the chat.
Yep, it's Basement 1908. But he was on the other day apologizing for like not putting out more stuff, and I'm like, this guy's churning out like 100 figures a week. He's doing like
I just
crazy.
40 that I actually 45-ish. But I'm trying to get to 60 this month because next month all I'm going to be doing is assembling minis from the new Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. And as much as I love assembling, I've been having so much fun lately painting. noticing, that I'm getting better because I'm not that good. I mean, there's
Wait,
a lot.
Are you getting better, or is your vision getting worse?
No, I'm learning, and
I am.
Yeah, I know that was dickish. I'll admit it. That was dickish.
Hey, I've heard worse. Hey.
Did he just call me a cheeky monkey?
No, I called you a cheeky prick.
I think I've been called worse.
Hey,
I dropped the link to that channel in
That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, that looks great. That's
What
such a
kind of
nice.
STD? Wait, hold on. What kind of STD is that?
It's an old Grenadier lead miniature from the 80s.
It's the kind of STD you can only get in the merchant navy.
Yeah.
What Shadow knows a lot about because it's where he recruits most of his talent from.
I missed you guys.
I recognize that as an affirmative, and
man, there was just like
an acknowledgement of everything I'm saying to be true.
There's games, there's other people's shit that I'm like, dude, I can't. I mean, I missed how much on gatekeepers because of what's going on. I missed like at least a month's worth, maybe 2 months worth of games with Bruce. It kicked my ass.
Yeah, well, it's not like a head cold,
Right.
Thanks, Mike.
And even now, I'm like, fuck.
What you've been saying is, I ain't been keeping no gates, Mr. Frodo.
Oh, speaking of Frodo, so I'm leaving the cigar shop the other day. Then he leaves.
That's our James. And here's another one I want to show off.
So you're leaving the cigar shop the other day.
I'm leaving the cigar shop the other day. Is that a frog from hell?
It's actually called a hell hopper from Art.
Oh, okay.
But it comes with 3 different mouths. So there's like the closed mouth, and then there's different tongues.
Okay.
You can come on back, James. You got the link, and if not, let me know. I'll put it back. I figure I'll go another.
No, the link is too far back.
Okay, I'll put it back.
I got it. Are you good?
All right. Anybody else shows up though? I better know you. Hey, real quick. Now that I'm, hogging the
put it in, or
yeah, go ahead.
It's done.
Thanks, Mike. I noticed you got a few more subs. I'm glad to see it, man.
If you guys have you gotta be careful these days on who you let into your stream there, Shadow.
For those of you who don't know, Married with Gaming is Mike Dymart. I know you guys all know him by that, but that's his actual channel with him and his wife. We got like almost 100 views or over 100 views on our interview, which was, I kid you not, like the best numbers I've ever had on a one-on-one. So thanks, man. I hope you guys do stellar out there. If you guys haven't checked it out, Married with Gaming, class act, funny couple. And I need to have a frosty shower. All right, James.
All right, so I God, Frodo. Okay, I'm leaving the cigar shop the other night. I stayed out a little bit longer than I probably should. I left it at about 4:00 in the morning. It was probably the most active I've been for a while. So I had really good fun conversations. Left at about 4:00 in the morning, and I turned down the road, and all of a sudden I see the cherries and berries. I'm wondering what the fuck is going on. I turn on my turn signal because the bastard's still on because I have to manually turn the damn thing off. So I'm like, what the hell did he pull me over for? And he pulls me over. He's like, we pulled you over because the way you're driving suspiciously. I'm like, okay. And would you mind getting out of the car? I'm like, okay. So I get out of the car. I'm 5'9". The top of this guy's head came to my chin. So he's shorter, he's a little bit shorter than I am. And he's like, well, where are you going? I'm like, going home. Where's that? Really none of your business. And he's like, well, all right, well, he says, I think I see something. You mind if we look in your car? I'm like, kinda. He's like, are you going to be difficult? I'm like, maybe. So he pushes me up against the car, handcuffs me. He's like, well, I'm going to pat you down. Shadow, you need to hear this.
Yeah.
I'll wait for Shadow's attention.
Yep.
So he starts patting me down. And I said, no matter how hard you search there, Frodo, I don't have the one ring.
He gets Shadow. Oh, yeah.
He gets pissed. The cop gets pissed. And he's like, hey, any more smart comments? I don't know. Where's Gandalf? I feel a little lost out here. Better yet, you call Samwise and everybody else, and we'll have ourselves a Shire party. I'm just giving this guy lip at this juncture because he's pissing me off. And next thing I know, I hear laughing coming out of the car. And
yeah, it wasn't a lawful detainment. He had no right to put you in cuffs because you didn't let him search your car.
So I hear laughing coming out of that. I guess his sergeant, this must have been training day. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The sergeant comes up is like, says, I'm like, what did he say? I'm this guy's name. Do we have a problem? I'm like, yeah, this guy pulled me over for no fucking reason I know of. And I'm in cuffs. Why?
Unlawfully detained should have been the words of your mouth.
And he's like, well, I understand that. We'll get you free here in a second. Like, you can get me free now, Mr. Gandalf. And he's like, are you always a smart ass? I'm like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they let me go, but God, that Frodo was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
The moral of this story is don't lip off to the cops.
Yeah, I think Chris Rock did a video on that a while back.
But I'm white, so it was okay. No, that's bad. Don't say that.
No, you're white, so you'll get shot, and the media won't cover it.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll never know what happened to Connell.
Yep, that's how it really goes.
Oh God, I don't know. The medicine and my lack of sleep has just got me a little bit more lippier than normal. But it was genetic, not my issue was genetics. I didn't cause it.
Hey, Bill, what's happening? You caught us at the tail end. We're going to be popping out in like 15 minutes, but
15 minutes, little man. Put that shit in my hand if that money doesn't show you. Oh.
But Bill, we need to talk about the bingo cards.
They were talking about clerks earlier.
Bingo. Okay.
Yeah, there's a Shadow and Sun bingo card game coming out. Well, not card game, but we're going to play bingo on my show, and there's certain phrases and topics that come up, and if you hit them,
beep.
Yeah, like beep.
One of the topics, big titty goth chicks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No.
I think we're just going to say goth chicks, just because we got to, fit the. We got to fit it.
No, you can do it. Big titty goth chicks. Goth chicks.
Yeah.
G.
You should be able to
GT Gothic. No, B. T. G. Just knock it down to the initials.
No, you can do multiple lines, right? You should be able to get 4 words in a box.
Hey. This is a family show. We do not do lines here.
I don't know.
That's
one of the boxes.
There's lots of
I'm pretty sure that's one of the boxes, bro.
It's not just things I say, but it's other people. Brian's got his catchphrase, so to speak. Hey, no problem.
I'm pretty sure one of the entire columns is just things I've said.
Certainly, and there's also the wind chimes, the smoke alarm, a siren, Chewy barking. all kinds of safe for work things. But Justin and other folks also have their call outs or shout outs to drive by Hungar, things like that.
How's Hungar? I haven't seen him in a little bit
He's
either.
only going to be valid for a little
He's
while,
okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
I still got Tuesday.
I've barely seen anybody.
Yeah. We miss
not
you,
your fault,
bro.
man. Not your fault. So how's everybody over at Table Breakers? I talked to Bruce the other day.
We're good.
I don't see Baron like ever. Kai, obviously,
Everybody. Well, you saw the message from Jade when it comes to gatekeepers, right? Everybody's life, not getting too fine of a point on it. Everybody's life is just kind of blowing up around them, and it sucks. But it'll be what it'll be. So I will let. Trying to think if Bruce said anything tonight, because I don't want to be that guy that dropped the bag if it already hasn't been said. So I'm trying to be careful what I say.
Oh well, he wanted me to come and visit.
Yeah. Well, Bruce is okay. Bruce is starting a new job here soon, and unfortunately, he'll be working Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
He's made that known. Okay. And Aaron is kind of just stepping away for a while. Jade's work is being a pain in his mental health, and I'm not 100% up to where I should be or I was. So even I'm sleeping more than I thought I should be. But so everything's kind of wrapping up in a way. If you get where I'm going.
Yeah,
guys going on hiatus until things can settle down.
That's the way it feels. But Baron and Bruce can, of course, correct me if I'm wrong. Because what the hell do I know? Not much. I like to keep it that way.
It's good policy. Next thing you know, you're writing 30,000 page essays on why ambassadors to countries should be shut. Oh,
Lent this year might actually kill me, though.
Lent,
Lent might actually this year is killing.
The body's craving for grain alcohols will.
No, not even that much. I've gone months without drinking, so it's not a big deal. It's just everybody.
I don't know. I don't know if you can call being saturated in alcohol during the 9 months of saturation going without drinking.
Not that big of a drunk.
That's not the joke. Fucking run with it, bro. You're supposed to go, I was drunk.
Everybody knows logic kills a joke.
Oh, it doesn't help that, was it Bear? His first real induction to me was Max 24-hour stream. I was fucking trash for most of that.
Yeah. You're supposed to go, I'm not bottle.
That guy from Palladium was a real trooper putting up with our drunk asses that day.
Kevin Zambita?
The other guy.
Oh, yeah, I don't know him. I mean, I met them both, but I don't know him.
Right.
The way I know Zambita. And best of luck. They've been doing solid work for a long time. I just had to step back from it because I'm not a simulationist when it comes to gaming. The combat was killing the fun for us.
I still am, and I can't swing, and that's fine. But I'm very much interested in the Ninja Turtles because I grew up on Ninja Turtles. During my hiatus, I ended up watching the second season of the Kevin Smith He-Man on Netflix. Absolutely loved it. Not for the storyline, but because they showed every fucking toy I had growing up.
That's cool. Fan service is what it's all about, guys.
Yeah, you can go too far with fan service sometimes.
It was really, really nice to be watching it, not really paying attention to the storylines. Like, I had that toy, I had that toy, I had two of those toys, you know.
Yeah, it'd be the same thing if they did like Micronauts. Hey, what's up, Hungar?
Hungar, should I give him the link?
I actually sent it to him in Discord,
Well,
but
Hungar,
he was
hop
too
in
busy.
here.
He was too busy playing, hanging out with Cody and Bear.
Yeah,
see how
Cody
you
and
are.
Bear were both here. Why
I
weren't
know.
you?
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say, might as well get the whole freaking cast, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, nice to actually. The only thing I wish is I wish I liked food again. Right now I just don't, and it sucks. But other than that, everything else is what it is.
Well, man,
but I'm looking forward to seeing you guys this Sunday for those who can show up.
Sunday.
I will do my best. I can't make any promises. I've been doing church more and other things, and like I said, next I want to at least get one in, you know, soon. But
if
next month it's going to be rough. So
no, and I get that. If I have to reach out to Bo because hopefully Bo's schedule's cleared up some. If not, it is. But even if I get like a couple staples and a rotating panel, that's fine because we're not doing the way that we changed the program, being that we don't have to watch X amount of movies in a month. It's just going to be a year sci-fi. Hey, can you be here next week? Yeah. Well, everybody else has had to pick. What would you like? What movie would you like to do? You know, something like that.
That's awesome, Bill. That is awesome.
So,
what did I miss?
Oh, Bill said his channel just went live LLC. Holy shit! You guys are never gonna let me go to bed, are you?
Take the comment down.
I just popped in to say hi. Yeah, ready to go to bed.
That's awesome. Welcome to the show, guys.
Heyo. I'm here for the same reason Hungar is. I just kind of wanted to come in and say hi to you guys and see how you were doing.
Yeah, I just stopped by to give you a thumbs up on your freaking live stream. Dude.
I appreciate that, guys. I really do. We're doing a show tomorrow morning, right?
As far as I know, I have to go and get another X-ray tomorrow, but I'm not.
I was going to ask, how did it go?
Yeah, it's good to see you, Hungar.
The doctor's appointment was good. The first X-ray was all right, I guess. They want another one.
The bastards.
Well, I went off of my pain pills like months and months ago.
Yeah.
But now my body's starting to let me know that might have been a bad idea. So I have to go through the whole rigmarole all over again.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you said that right, though. God, I can't tell you how it bothers me when people can't say that phrase properly.
Rigmarole?
Yes.
So I've got to get the X-rays
It's
again,
too
the
hard.
doctor's appointments, and it's crazy because in Tennessee, in Florida, when I got my payments, they just give me like a month's worth. Right. In Tennessee, first they give you 3 days worth, and then they will give you 10 days worth, and then they'll start giving you either a month's worth, or I normally get my meds in a 3-month dose because I take like 20-something meds. It's a pain in the ass to constantly go to the pharmacy. So it's like,
well, you know why they do it that way, though,
because people abuse pain meds.
Yeah,
because there's a bunch of assholes out there who are abusing it and making it harder for the people who actually need it.
But with you, they know that's not a possibility.
Well, with 33 surgeries in 3 years and more scar tissue than intestines, I think they've got it figured out.
You would think my brother's got medical issues. Was born with medical issues, and every so often he'll get a doctor who says you're just coming back for pain pills, even though his file is about as big as a room at this juncture.
That's fucked up.
Well,
when
'cause it
when I
happens.
turned when all this shit happened to me, and I turned my paperwork over to my attorney because it was the hospital's fault that all this shit happened to me. It was this thick, the paperwork.
Oh yeah.
With a letter from the hospital apologizing that this happened to me. But of course, the hospital doesn't want to settle until after I die, it seems like. Which is fine because my kids will be taken care of regardless. So I'm not going to worry.
Yeah, we're related, right?
Yeah, you're my uncle, right?
The game with Cody tonight was a lot of fun. I had a lot of, I'm really digging Palladium.
What is Palladium? I've never heard of it.
It's
Palladium
D&D.
role playing game.
It's fantasy role playing.
It's like a GURPS
okay.
system. It's a universal multi-genre 50 plus books sitting on my shelf here of world settings, and there's a fantasy, there's sci-fi, superhero, horror, and other things,
cool.
including Robotech and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a really good system, but they went overboard on combat, where you're doing every block and dodge and parry and all this stuff.
Cody dumbed that down for us.
When you get to higher levels, and by higher levels I mean like 5, you're looking at
4 or 5
crazy.
attacks a turn. But Cody's made it where everybody gets 2 attacks a turn.
Yeah,
like we got a lot of house rules, which I like because the system itself, you do have to dumb it down a bit. You do have to take away some of, because if you didn't, the combat would just be like Shadow's game with magic over the top.
So, I mean, maybe some of you grognards can kind of clear it up for me a little bit. But the way that I was, because I'm pretty new to the role playing game kind of scene. I was a big tabletop war gamer for a long time, but with the embrace of the
I
role playing
recommend you
game
buy
community.
this game. I recommend you buy this game. It's the only game you'll need. It's this one book for the entire game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Morkborg.
Okay.
Yeah, Morkborg.
I'd say go with Arduin, Bloody Arduin.
Yeah.
So I was explained that crunchiness in a game, right, is basically like there's the base game where you can kind of piece together the rules that make the backbone of it, but then there's also like the rest of the rules, but they're kind of there for situational purposes.
Pretty much.
Is that still kind of a thing, or is a lot of this done by rote?
Sometimes it's that way. Sometimes it's just there to make a mechanic seem more in depth, but it's just adding layers of uselessness to it.
When I run a game, how I do it is I take it to the bare bones. I house rule the shit out of the game. I take it down to the bare bones. It's story driven with combat, so it's RP driven when I like to do it. So yeah, there's games with just like the Goblin Slayer game. Bear was showing it to us. It's like 900 and something pages.
Yeah,
it's the
you know,
same
I like. I will add
and no art.
Like in the AD&D QE, I'm a big fan of the freaking splat books, but that's just personal stuff. Pretty much, you can run any game. You can get any game and just run it bare bones. So this is how I'm going to do it. This is what's going to happen. Here's what you're going to need to roll for certain situations, and that's it.
Okay.
So Bill, what did you mean by LLC precisely? Did you do the thing, or
it means limited license corporation?
Limited liability. Well, I don't want to talk too much about it, but I'll give you maybe a little peek behind the curtain with a question that I kind of came here to ask, and it was to you, Shadow, and because I know you've got some stuff in the works. and I wanted to ask you, I've been putting some feelers out there. I've been doing a lot of negotiating lately, and I was wondering if you had any idea who some of the best game distributors are. I took a look at Alliance game distributors. I took a look at Southern game distributors. Just wondering if anybody out there is
like published and put out
for like product.
For product, like
Yeah.
many
you don't want to sell
books or
it really is going to it's really going to depend on like how many units you're talking. Okay. One I'll tell you about.
That is used to handling a lot of units.
He's more into directing other men into handling units for him, but
yeah. But it's going to depend, how many copies that you're going to be able to provide.
Well,
okay. Kind of about the volume then.
Well, if you're talking millions, then there's going to be a lot more people interested in working with you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just having trouble getting stock right off the bat now because I think a lot of them are.
If we're talking like under 10,000, then I know a really good place you can go that everybody will actually see.
I'm more like looking for stocking product, like getting some mainstream card games, some mainstream board games, Exploding Kittens, that kind of thing. In from a distributor for retail. You know what I mean?
I'm going to bed, guys.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Party on,
We'll see
I only had a 6-hour nap today.
Hey, I'm so happy you're doing good, man. It's good to see your face. I was a little worried about you. I'm happy to see you.
Yeah, I'm doing the best that I can, one day at a time.
Hey, there you go. Chasing that cheeseburger of destiny, right?
Yeah, that's right. Peace, love, and chicory. Still working on it. About halfway through.
Nice.
Take care, brother.
Party on, man.
If everything goes well, hopefully I'll be home tomorrow in time for the show. If not, then I won't be.
Well, you can always do it late if you're up to it. If you're not up to it, that's do not push yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, brother.
Yeah, I never push myself.
Push your brother James.
He will push a bowl of ramen though.
We have seen him do that.
Ooh, ramen sounds
amazing. But PML's gonna go down a little war path here. I'm looking to create something that everybody in the YouTube space can kind of prosper from. And I've been trying to make it something that that gamers would gravitate towards, and content creators can also get into as well, and kind of further their dreams of creating content without having to need to worry so much about taking up an extra job to pay for StreamYard, other things like that. And so yeah, we're registered now. We're a registered business. The government has my blood type and all that information. So that was quite a pain.
They already did, but now it's official.
Right.
Now you know that they know that you know. You could. How much streaming are you doing? Are you doing more than 20 minutes?
Yeah. Well, at one point I was pushing it pretty hard. Now I do a little bit less. But I still want that graphical fidelity. I still am a sucker for that 1080p.
Okay.
But yeah, hoping to just create something that everybody can sink their teeth into and have a good time with. And I'm going to put out some more information in that about that in the future. But yeah, Paint Minis Live is going into business for one and all.
Well, just let me know a good time, and we'll bring you on one of the Friday or Thursday shows, and you can just spill your guts. Just plug the
Sure.
whole Monday if you want.
We got a lot of stuff under construction. I don't think I'm quite ready to
Well, let me know when you
necessarily
do.
bring it all. All right.
And we'll make a night of it.
With that being said, gentlemen, and I say the term incredibly loosely, so loosely you can see through it. You all have a good night.
You too, Connell. Hopefully, I'll see you Sunday.
Yeah, you'll see me one way. I'll be on Sunday.
Sunday.
I might have a cigar in my mouth, but I'll be here on Sunday.
Well, not here, over there.
Yeah.
Here.
All right. Well, with Connell leaving and I've actually gone over an hour longer than I do normally, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody out there in TV
right.
land. Thanks. We got off to a little bit of a slow start, but thank you everybody who showed up tonight. Bill, best of luck. I know you're going to go far. I told you back in the day, back in the day.
Like what? Like a month or two?
Hey,
Wednesday. Back in the day, Wednesday.
I recognize greatness, and take care, Mike. I recognize greatness, and I'm lucky to be surrounded by it all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Well, good to see you guys. Take it easy, all right?
You too, Justin. I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great weekend, everybody, and happy trails.
Yeah. Eat at Taco Bell. Still waiting for that sponsorship.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Morning.